Streaming.
Each time.
Okay. Checking the YouTubes.
Checking the YouTubes.
Checking the YouTubes. There we are.
Are we on?
Yeah, I see it. It's on.
It is? Okay, let me check it. We got audio?
I can hear audio.
We got video?
We got a video.
Hey, Kron, you may want to check your cropping.
My cropping?
Yeah, because you're kind of cutting off a bit of Hugh and Nick there.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I think I can change that in OBS.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Or I can just... Did that work? I don't think that worked.
Nope.
Oh, because it's capturing the window.
That worked a bit more. I can see more of the screen now.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. No, it's too much.
That works. Too much.
Oh, God.
Overcorrected.
Okay.
Don't worry, everyone.
Okay, that looks better.
We are professional idiots.
Now I'm going to put the link in the
Don't call me
Discord.
out like that. Oh, you're gonna do that.
Do the roar.
I was just about to type in, "Hey, everybody, get in here."
Yeah, no, I got it. Live stream is up and running. Come join us. And boom. Okay,
Boom.
So I think we're clear to begin.
Oh, hello, there are people already here.
Are there?
Oh, God.
Oh, frig.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm one of
Oh,
them.
no.
Yeah, I'm one of those too.
There's the live chat. Okay, so we got Marco and Winter in. Yep, that's right. Okay, cool. And Evan Blade. All right, hi, Evan. Okay, so welcome to the Brotherhood War / Aftermath Creators live stream. I'm very excited to be here with everybody today, discussing the making of Brotherhood War and Aftermath and talking about what it was like to work on it and asking the cast and crew several questions and just generally hanging out. We'll answer your questions too in a minute. First, I want to get some stuff out of the way. First, I want to mention those who are not here that couldn't make it. So first, Laughing Block is AWOL, so something may have come up with him, but there's a chance he may join in at some point. We'll see. Nyoka is dealing with a cat emergency. Best of luck, Nyoka. Catastrophe, who voiced Silva, had a gig, which is very important. A gig, she told me. So, good luck, Cat.
Oh, sick.
Best of luck. We're all rooting for you. And let's see. Floral Ninja Chan is probably playing Dungeons and Dragons. And then Ashley is probably asleep. So, hope you're sleeping well, Ashley. I think everybody else is here, so I'm going to go over everyone. So, hi, I'm me. And then we have Tatsumari. Tatsumari, if you want to...
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
There we go. Yeah, Tatsumari voices Director Manias from Brotherhood War, as well as Oversight Program and the Centurions at Aftermath. We have Riley Mikesell, who voices Zack.
Hello.
And then we have Hugh Verhalewagen, who voices Garrett and also helps co-write the series.
Hello.
We have Obi-Wan DS, who voices Spartan Scott. Sorry, Force of Habit.
That's all right. How's everyone doing?
And we got Robert, who is more commonly known by Shire Jagoon. He does the awesome SFM sequences, the ships shooting at each other and stuff. What's up, man?
Hi.
We have Dark Feather, who voices Lieutenant Teresa Denver. We have Nick Johnson from the original Nick Show and the podcast Lorecast, who has just joined us, and he voices Senator Carlisle as well as Anthony from Aftermath. I was really hoping Flora would have been able to be here too, because you guys are married, but that's too bad.
Oh, yeah.
But no, it's good to have you, Nick.
Hello, everyone.
We have Master Lyons, previously known as Lego Yoda, who voices Spartan Master Galloway. And of course, we have my second in command, Major Winners, who is going to be asking us a lot of questions. And I think with that, the introductions are out of the way. So, Winners, where should we start?
Just before we start, I just want to point out that the mentioning of my name, Ren proceeded to type Hamawa. That is all.
Yes, he did. What do you think that means?
I don't want to know if it's him. I have plenty of questions that I totally didn't write late at night sometimes. But I think we'll start out just one for everybody, get everybody sort of warmed up and ready to go. There is a one for everyone.
We lost Obi's visual.
Oh, we lost Obi.
There
Nope,
he is.
there he is.
Okay.
And there he goes.
And there you gone.
I'm still here. Just privacy issues.
Okay, no problem.
Ah, don't worry about it.
Oh.
All right. So,
Yeah, we don't want to see that.
This is gonna be a bit of a callback question to the first time we did this, but out of both Aftermath, Brotherhood War, and even if you want to go back even farther, Final Goodbye, and the other shorts before this, what scene do you think most stuck out to you while watching all of this?
What order are we going in?
Yeah,
I
we
don't-
didn't establish it. Well, I could probably go
Okay.
first. Maybe answer. All right. That's a hard one and stuff. By the way, just to kind of point out, it wasn't Final Goodbye; it was Final Farewell. Just
Thank
a
you.
little correction.
Completely forgot
but-
the name. Don't worry.
But I'm gonna say that probably one of the biggest, there's so many big moments throughout this whole series, like especially Brotherhood War. There's just so many intense and emotional moments. But I'm gonna have to say probably the biggest one was the whole, well, as we call it, the Order 66 sequence with the Spartans just pretty much beheading the UNSC. It's a scene that no one really saw coming, with so many twists leading up to it, and it was like devastating across the board, especially when people got to see certain characters that we've known from the past just enduring all this, or even getting full out slaughtered.
Yeah, sorry, Braxton.
Yeah, yeah, especially Braxton. And then, of course, just how it changes everything going forward, especially when you see Aftermath, just seeing how much it just completely changed everything. I think that for me was definitely the most impactful moment that we've done so far. And all that. And definitely the biggest secret that I had to sit on for so long, as well
Everybody
as all
was
the
sitting
other
on that
actors
one,
who
yeah.
read the script and all that. So, yeah. So yeah, that's mine. So what's to go next?
I'll say real quick, probably my favorite moment out of the whole thing is at the end of Aftermath. Zack's speech, juxtaposition next to the slaughter of the civilians at the hands of Corsair. I was very pleased with how that scene turned out. I think it's very powerful, with lots of thanks to Riley's excellent voice acting for that scene. That was a hell of a speech, dude. Well done.
Yeah.
I think that turned out really well.
Mm-hmm.
I never really thought about this, but I'm worried all of my peripherals are going to turn on me because I only use Corsair stuff.
Oh, hey, real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
Chat, how are we looking? Can you hear us all? Can you see us all? Just making
Yeah,
sure.
can you see
Probably
us
should have
all?
done that earlier. I know
we're
Ren's
getting
paying
some
attention, so he'll
latency
tell
issues
us.
from the looks of it.
Yeah, Ren's here to make fun of me, as he usually is.
Of course.
Well, nobody's complaining, so I think we're good.
No, we got 2 yees. We are rolling.
2 E's? Okay, great.
We have
Yeah,
4
I think I
E's.
can...
No, 2 U's and 3 S's.
Okay, great. All right, anybody else have anything to say about special moments for the series, favorite moments?
So, yeah, my favorite moments from the entire series were all of the times that Zack was realizing that he had feelings for Denver and that he wasn't just like an automaton built to kill things. It was really nice to see him have actual personal growth, that because he had time to finally, instead of just being a warrior. And I really enjoyed acting all of those and being in all those scenes, and those were my favorite parts for sure.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
getting that Spartan game up, aren't you? Yeah, those were some of my favorite moments too and stuff. All were pretty cute and genuine. And
Aunt Knight just asked, question for the cast, what's your favorite moment in Brotherhood War and Aftermath? And then he went, oh, never mind!
Stop doing my job!
All right.
Okay, Taz, how about you? Anything?
The two that stand out to me the most were the meeting that was between Scott and Braxton when the
In
ship
Final
was getting
Farewell,
commissioned.
yeah.
Yeah,
Final
yeah.
Farewell.
That was one of the cool ones I liked a bunch. But the kind of like wet your pants moment was when Manias dropped and Lifebringer came back out. We're like,
He just
didn't.
Are we sure that's a code yellow or
Yeah.
is that a code
That's
brown?
that's a code liquid brown.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
So-
Final Farewell was a pretty. It was a pretty nice thing that I just kind of came up with one day and stuff.
Yeah,
because I
that was
just
all
felt
you.
Like, yeah, it was like it was just like one of these things is like, okay, we have Scott who's going to be coming back and all that, but I feel like it would be kind of a jump just to have him just right there without any explanation. So it's like it needs to be something that could just fill in the time and then also kind of tie together a couple things from Omega Halo, since that was the most recent series that we just finished off from. And so I just had the idea, okay, maybe have the Heart of Defiance be decommissioned, have Scott there to witness its final decommissioning, and then of course bring in the seeds to the next series along with the Braxton and Manias and stuff. And so that was a nice little, I think that worked as a nice little short to kind of tie things together before, of course, the big.
Yeah, it's fun to
So
go back and watch Final Farewell now and go, oh, he's talking to the fucking Lifebringer.
Only I knew.
Yeah, right. No, and Final Farewell worked out really well because it allowed me to then set up Braxton's death, which made the Order 66 scene all the more impactful. I mean,
That just killed me, man.
yeah, I don't think it would have worked as well if we didn't have the death of somebody that we knew, but I couldn't kill off any of the main characters at that point in time, so it had to be Braxton. Sorry, cats.
Yeah, well, you know, I play Death. So.
Better you than me.
Okay, Obi, how about you?
I was like, honestly, you guys pretty much hit the nail on all the ones that really stand out. Just like Order 66, like Corsair's Massacre, and Final Farewell. It's like, but Final Farewell probably gets it for me because unless Kron or Hugh says otherwise, that could possibly be the last time Braxton and Scott interact.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
I think so, actually. Now that I just think
like unless
about
you
it.
guys decide to add something in.
I mean, they might have been in touch at some point
points,
sparingly,
yeah.
but Scott probably got pretty busy once he went off and became a bigwig Spartan. You know, managing Corsair and all that.
God! Now looking back on it now, is that if that was the case, that is much more major than I thought. Holy shit.
Yeah. And Ren just brought this up in the chat. Like, and thank you, Ren, for reminding me. He's like, just a little conversation that Scott had with Zack, just talking briefly about the Catherine and whatnot. That.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That just further solidifies the whole Spartan legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely one that stuck out to me the most in my head, because you guys covered all of them. Like that discussion with Catherine about Catherine and all that. Like it hits hard for me because like growing up, like that's what I was watching at that time, and then I get to see and hear how it just continues to ebb and flow into the modern series. It's a nice little touch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, completely honest.
And to even add on to that, the fact that the area that they were in was exactly where the shipmaster had pretty much glassed everything in Omega Halo.
Yep.
That was even more
The
of a
African
detail
glasslands.
added on. The glasslands, yeah.
Mhm.
It's just like
Okay,
it's
now
funny.
now since we got a lot of more people to get through than we did with the Omega Halo stream, Dragoon, I know that you told me you were very excited about the unveiling of the Infinity. Is that your favorite moment?
I would say one of them, but I think my favorite moments that I got to work on would have to be the battle scene in Brotherhood War and, of course, Order 66.
Yeah.
Interesting fact about the Order 66, if I can remember, I thought Manias was actually working for the Lifebringer because that was actually my original idea, which would be, interesting, but it wasn't really that way.
I mean, you were close.
Yeah.
In a way, from a certain point of view, that was true.
Yeah. And also another thing, there's a scene where we see a longsword that got to
Yeah, it was
shoot down one of
it was
the
dogfighting.
performers.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically there was a scene where the longsword, like the camera goes to one of the marathons, and I actually assumed there would be a scene of Braxton in the
ship.
in the bridge and
Yeah.
and the other crewmates, and they were like, "Hey, let's get care of that other cruiser down north." I thought that would happen, but that was just
Yeah,
So,
the
you still
scene
did a
of
good job
Braxton on the ship
regardless.
came later.
oh well.
Okay,
Oof.
Feather, how about you?
Frankly, and this is just because I'm a nerd for this,
Mm.
all of the special effects were my favorite part, mainly because I love symbolism. I love weird, like, interesting fight scenes. I love just random models being suddenly inserted into something you didn't think. The detail there, everything like that, like specifically the ship at the end, that is amazing in its entirety. And then the freaking title for Brotherhood War Aftermath literally gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, that's all razzle dazzle. That's all Sean. Oh man,
that was a
kicks
good one.
ass.
Amazing.
The rest of it, though, the ships, that's all this guy.
Yeah.
Down one more.
Wait,
And
yeah.
not my screen, my cron screen over there.
Wait, is the screen different for?
Yeah, I
It's
think the
for-
screen's
Yeah,
different
yeah,
for
yeah.
everyone.
Okay,
so,
I'm
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like it's okay.
Well, don't touch it,
on
don't
the
touch it,
screen-
don't
on
touch
the
it.
stream,
No,
it's nice.
no, don't touch it.
So,
Whole thing.
No, I'm not touching it.
Keep your hands
No
off
touchy.
it.
Let's see. Okay, yeah, no, definitely well done on all that. Nick, how about you?
Coming into the series super late because I started with Brotherhood War. I think it was just the whole of Aftermath because I had, binge watched this entire big epic battles coming along. And then there were these really quiet moments in Aftermath. Like the first half of it is all set up and I really like that a lot. It's really slower and there's a lot of quiet moments. And those are the things that really stick out to me. Because like I just finished at the time of this recording. I just finished what's that game? Republic Commando, and it's like a side mission. You see like a different set of the Star Wars universe. So it's
Mhm.
like that was a different side to the Spartan Legacy, and that's what I liked about it most. Was
Definitely.
the quiet moments.
Yeah, you gotta have those quiet moments.
Mm.
If I didn't have the quiet moments, I think Brotherhood War would just be every other generic action machinima or movie out there, and the quiet moments make it because that's where you can develop your characters. It's where you can have a bit more interesting dialogue. So yeah, I'd agree with you. I think those are important to have.
I think
Okay,
it's Master Lions.
Huh?
I think it's Master Lions' turn to answer.
Yes, it is. Real quick though, I have been experiencing some slight freezes on my end, which will probably be reflected in the final stream. Just so everybody knows when we go back and watch it. But we should be okay. I think one just happened right there. Yeah, I don't know. Hard to tell.
Yep.
It's a
Yeah.
lag spike.
It's a lag spike. It'll happen. It happens forever.
Instinct.
No problem. Okay, yeah, Lions, it's your turn.
I think there were a lot of really, really good moments, and a lot of the ones that really stuck out to me were already named. But I gotta say, two that like caught my attention really were in part one of Brotherhood War, the training game that Zack and Fireteam Corsair did. That was just a cool scene, and that like before Brotherhood War, I was very new to machinima in general. I was just added to the server. Cole added me because we met in school, and I began with watching Brotherhood War. I'm caught up now, but just seeing that scene for the first time, it was so cool to watch. And I think the other scene was the first time you see Seattle in Aftermath,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
where just seeing that mood just of like no hope, just everyone's struggling. It was so cool.
yeah, that was.
Dude,
Really
the first scene in Aftermath where you see Seattle. I don't think I've ever made anything more atmospheric, like
Yeah.
ever. It's just a testament to the power of Halo 5's Forge, and
Mm.
It was perfect.
people who are not utilizing it correctly are doing a big mistake. So,
Very
yeah,
big
Don't call
mistake.
me out like that. It's confusing and complicated.
The thing
I'm old.
is, I always understand when some people like, I know it's like, it's very like when you look at Halo 5's Forge, it is very complicated. I'll give you that because it is something that you can get to, but there are tutorials that can really help you through that. But the thing is just like Chronicle says, right? He's right. Like people who are not using Halo 5's like techniques, because literally there's so much you can work with. There's so much that you have to play with that you can pretty much make anything from your imagination with. I mean, we got the prefabs. I mean, if you look at some of the things people have made on there and you scroll down and you select, it's insane. It's like insane that people, I mean, giant crabs and things like that.
People
It's just
have made
like
fucking the Guardians from the campaign.
the Guardians, yeah.
Fully detailed.
I literally did a machinima using them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's like why aren't people using this more and stuff? So I'm glad that we were able to utilize it for this series and stuff.
We'll probably talk about a bit more about that later. I got
Yeah,
off on a
later,
tangent there.
Yeah, no, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, winners, your turn.
Well, I'd
Oh,
already
wait,
said-
sorry. One
Oh.
more thing for Lions. Renval says, Lions, can you do the Palpatine voice again?
Oh, gosh.
Do it.
Nice.
Oh, that was a fun day in the recording dungeon.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's your turn, winners.
Yeah. So as I said earlier, for me, what stuck out most definitely was this conversation with Catherine. Such a small moment, but as someone who spent a lot of time watching and rewatching the series, it's just a neat little thing that'll resonate with me. I will say the training battle was definitely really fun to watch as someone who was a body actor in it, just because of how crazy and slightly complicated it was and how occasionally we screwed up. A couple headshots here, a couple headshots here, a couple of other things over there, the usual.
But whenever something happens that it just looks so good, like that one time, who was it? Someone got the headshot in, and it was just a perfect scene right there.
There was that,
Like, oh man.
Or God, who was it who did the during the desert battle, like jumped and hit both headshots in
Oh
midair?
yeah, that
Yes,
was
yes, that was
the body actor was Zane, and Zane was requesting a scene like that, and so I was like, yeah, I think I can get this time in where he can jump up and boom, boom, and he fucking nailed it. It was so good.
Oh my God, I remember hearing that number. Now I remember watching that, and just going, "Whoo, okay, Zane."
It's like
This
where
motherfucker did
are
it
the
in
air
one
horns?
take.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so impressive.
It was
that
so
that
good.
that's first. Let me remind is. You got something you want me to roll?
Oh, I was just saying, if we're all done with that question, I want to scan the chat for any chat questions real quick.
I know. I saw there's one about Denver and Zack. Hold on to that. I'm gonna
Yeah, we'll talk about Denver and Zack.
get to that a little later.
I know somebody earlier asked,
I got
when are you making Oddman Out Season 3? I'm not talking about Oddman Out right now. This is for Brotherhood War.
Classified.
Classified.
We'll get you sooner or later.
Yeah. I don't see any other
Besides-
questions, though.
Yeah, I have the chat pulled up like right above my other questions, so
Okay,
I'm
great.
seeing them go through. Don't
Okay.
worry, I got you covered.
All right, thanks, man. All right, yeah, let's move on then.
So I'm gonna pop off of something that Master Lions had said about you not coming in and not knowing anything. Since this technically was your first project, which by the way, very proud of you and how you did. Those days in the recording closet dungeon studio thing really worked out really well, most times. But I want to know, like, what was it like to sort of step into this, long running series going from 2009, 10ish to now with all this context and characters and blah blah blah. Like, how was it just to kind of step in cold and just become, just voicing this?
Well, I do have to say a good chunk of the lines I read that were like referencing things in the past, I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
It was fun to record, to step into this character, and it was cool to see like how he plays into the story now, working with characters that have obviously had bigger appearances and have more of a backstory built up. But yeah, I mean, it was fun to step in and be able to do this, and I hope to do more of it soon.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that. You're be vague here, Alex, but you know what you and I talked about before, and only you and me and Hugh know about that. So don't worry about that. You got plenty coming in.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's.
Oh yeah, even
Just you hold on.
Hey, Ren's got
What
a
have I
question for us.
All
Well, on
right.
the topic of this being a really long-running series, it's crazy to think about that 10 years ago, I asked Chronicler if he needed any voice actors after school one day, and his answer was, maybe.
yeah, no, that's how it was done back then. I didn't start using folks over the internet until like 2014 when we did Generation. Now, actually, I guess it was Odd Man Out Season 1 when we cast Butler's character, I think. But yeah, I first brought you in as Zack, didn't I, Riley?
I think the first thing I did was some elite lines.
Yeah, that might be true. I think you did. I think you had some
so.
lines in Border War.
And I was in Biker On too.
You were in Biker On too. Yep, that was pretty good. And now here we are.
And Zack was right around that time, so
Yeah, Zack was
Yeah.
2011. 2011, 2012, somewhere around. Those 2 years kind of blur together.
Mhm.
I was a lot younger
what?
then.
Freaking no, it wasn't. No, freshman. It wasn't freshman year. It was sophomore year, wasn't it? Sophomore, junior.
I asked. My first work with you was freshman year.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I think it wasn't until sophomore year that I was. Well, like what year did we premiere Biker On 2 at your birthday?
Biker On 2 was 2012. That was after the
Okay.
last war.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, so maybe Zack was my first named character.
I think you're right. And then of course you came in as Mailer, who everybody loves.
Mhm.
Everybody loves good
I'm
Mailer.
talking a Muppet right now.
God, it's so weird to think about how like long ago was that. Forget me not knowing you. I was fucking 12 when like Biker On 2 came out when I was watching Last War. I
Oh,
didn't
you're
have
such a
facial
baby.
hair. Yeah, you're an old
remember-
man.
I remember being an actual fan and being a body actor for Biker On 2, being as the one guy who had the Officer Elite armor, the only one to have it. So I was just brought in to be that
Mhm.
that red guy. That I forgot what his name was in
That
that,
red
but to do that.
The red dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
It was
do
a
that-
red shirt.
Oh God. Yeah.
I know that Laughing Block, which he was here, was he was a body actor for a long time before he started voice acting. He was a body actor for a couple years around, I want to say, the Reach trilogy era, and then he dropped off for a while, I think, and I didn't see him. And he come back before we started working on a Mega Halo, and he's like, "Hey man, I can voice act now." I was like, "Holy fucking shit, you're good!" Yeah, no, that was it's funny.
Oh,
You know, you pick up people and you don't even know where it's going, and then it turns into something good. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm looking.
there
oh,
are
I'm
some
looking at-
questions in the chat.
Yep, I'm looking at chat. Ren, your first one about Meg co-writing. I've got one for that. Don't worry. I'll ask
Okay.
both main writers here.
All right.
Wolf asks, I think for you, Kron, what made you want to make the Brotherhood War? Like, is this a series trilogy? Like, what do you call it? Duology?
Story arc.
Brotherhood War itself is technically, I would call it a film because they do not have episodes, they have parts. And it's structured like a movie with opening credits at the beginning and closing credits at the end. It's not like Odd Man Out, where Odd Man Out is a series because there are episodes and there are opening and closing credits in every episode. But, you know, you can say series and I'll know what you're talking about. But to answer the question, by the way, Wolf is the guy who is helping me with sets for Hyborian, and he's really fucking good at it. So it's nice to have him along.
He really is.
Yeah. What made me want to make it? I mean, same thing that makes me want to make everything else, I guess. I like doing it. I like telling stories. I like seeing how people react to the stories. It's fun.
Yeah.
Brotherhood War in particular, I wanted to make it to continue the Spartan legacy, and I wanted to take the Spartan legacy in a direction it hadn't begun before, where everybody is totally fucked.
That's a blunt way of putting it.
You've
Yeah.
definitely
Sums it up.
managed that.
Like, I mean, like,
Mission
more
fucking
fucked than they've ever
accomplished.
been. I mean, there are...
Yeah, this is an unlubed. They're getting an unlubed fucked right here.
Yeah.
Oh my
You
gosh.
beat me to it.
So that answers that question.
Yeah, so that's from Wolf. For Ren, I'll touch on this a little bit later, but this is for everybody. Were there ever any voice acting sessions involving more than one actor? Or were they usually done individually? I'm gonna peg Alex for the. Can I peg Alex for this one first?
Yeah,
Because
go
I think
ahead.
him and I are gonna have the most unique of these answers.
Mhm.
Alex, you want to talk about your experience in Winters' recording dungeon?
It was mostly done individually. I basically just went in the dungeon, closed the door while Winters just sat on his Xbox. I think on occasion, if I had a question, I just slide the door open. He'd look over. I'd be like, "What's this question?"
It was more than a question, buddy. Believe me.
Well, and I.
That sounds fucking lewd.
You don't know our friendship.
No, we.
Oh, I'm just gonna throw him in this dungeon, and
Don't
when
worry,
he
it'll be
pokes
fine.
his head out, I'll give him well more than a question.
Don't forget the gym suit.
Yeah.
Lag spike.
I'd be like, no, I'm recording.
You had to get
No,
home, man.
No, but I mean, it was mostly done individually, and he was always there to help out and everything. So,
Dude, it was really... I was rather concerned when I knew you had to do Galloway's ending lines in part 5 of Brotherhood War with Winters in earshot, because we were like this close to spoiling the twist of Brotherhood War for Winters, and I really didn't want to spoil it. But then I went and spoiled it for you anyway, didn't I?
Yeah, you told me
Yeah.
during body acting. You told me like what the ending was.
I
And we had
had
to tell
to.
the other people not to say anything.
You would have
I want to
figured
say
it out.
what went down. I
Yeah.
want to say what went down is he just had his headset on gaming and he turned it up really high.
I had my earbuds in and I was listening to my metal playlist and I just
Right,
had
yeah.
it jacked up to the max volume and it
Right.
worked really well.
I did all of Alyssa's lines with her, because, we live together, because she's my wife.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was there for all of the Lifebringer's lines. And then I also held one-on-one sessions with Riley and Feather and Nyoka, who demanded it. I think that was about it.
You did
Yeah.
one with me. I know you had me on call. 'cause
Yeah, I
we're
did
far
one for
apart,
you in
but-
Aftermath.
Yeah, it
Remember
was just
that?
it was that one part for
Yeah.
the really the one scene that
So,
you really
and
needed.
I talked about that in the looking back for Aftermath. I've provided my perspective on that. I'm gonna do my own question here, Winners. You tell us
Go for it.
about your end of that experience where I was screaming at you.
Well, yeah.
Oh god.
This
So-
question's actually in chat, so well done hitting it.
Oh,
We're
what?
seeing.
Oh yeah, hey, thanks, friend.
Oh gosh.
Oh boy.
So I'm not local to any of you. I don't think. At the time I was in Atlanta. I moved to Athens now, but
Reese?
at the time I was in Atlanta and I was in my closet. And I had all the soundproofing up, and I just could not get that one line right. The part where it's like, "Oh, I love you so much, please."
Don't
He was
give
like,
up.
"No, you're not really giving it to
And
me."
you were
So
like, I love
yeah.
you so much, baby. Don't
yeah, I was
forget."
like,
Oh crap!
was-
Get it, take it away. Let's go ahead and make out right here.
I was doing my soft like oxhorn voice. Was like, "I love you so much, baby."
You do
He's
sound
like,
a
"No,
lot like
you're-
Oxhorn.
He's like, "You're getting taken
I need a
away.
doll.
Imagine that." And I was like, "Okay, I love you so much, baby." And he's like, "Hold on, are you free right now? I gotta call you." And I was like, "Yeah, okay. Am I in trouble? What's going on?" I
one
have
way
the
you were.
Discord open, and he calls me, and I record through my Razer laptop, and so it was really weird having it like laptop outside, but having to have him in the headphones and recording at the same time. There's a bunch of wires everywhere. And then I started like really getting into it. I channeled my inner John DiMaggio, Nathan Fillion, and started really acting. So he was like, "Louder," and I was like, "I love you so much, please." "Louder, that's it. Yeah, Nick Moore." And I was like, I love you so much, please. So I was trying to really act it out and physically act it. So I'm sure the neighbors were like, "Oh my gosh, this guy really loves this girl."
I had to learn a long time ago to not give a fuck about the neighbors. The neighbors will hear what the neighbors will hear, and they'll just have to deal with it.
Yeah, my stepdad was in the other room, and I was like,
He's not related to Eric, by the way.
Say what?
Somebody asked if Tyler was related, or
Oh
Nick
yeah,
was related to Eric.
two different Johnsons. Eric Johnson plays Tyler in Odd Men Out. He and Nick are not related.
No.
Johnson, if you don't know, is actually a very common last name in America.
"Oh,
Johnson.
Unlike for Halo
Johnson.
Oh, God. How did I know you were going to say that?
Morgan and Morgan.
Johnson and Johnson.
So wait, before we continue, just jump in quickly. Agent Michigan Studios, that's a name. Meg, can you raise your hand, please?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, now we can continue now.
Okay.
Literally.
Also, real quick, I want to take Riley, and I want to take Nick's voice, and make my own Oxhorn, because I think that would work.
What?
Oxhorn's a Fallout streamer for
Yeah. Yeah, he does lore videos.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Kron, I should mention, since we've gotten a couple questions, I've copied and pasted them into my document, so I got the fan question
Great. Okay.
in their own little section. So we'll be all good to go.
Yeah.
So are there any other like fun little voice acting, just like, doing it together with someone, doing it alone?
If Kat was here, she would talk about how she can't say tactically.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That's her bane.
One thing I can definitely share was that this was probably the two most frustrating voice acting sessions I ever had doing Brotherhood War and Aftermath. As you probably heard in the blooper reels for both of them, how I slammed the hell on my desk because I was getting so pissed off with with episode 2, doing that whole thing of confronting Zack and just being like really serious and stuff, because of course I wasn't doing any kind of accent and stuff. This was my voice and stuff. And I really loved how this was written. And I was so frustrated with just how I was screwing it up constantly that I literally just banged on my desk so hard that I literally had a bruise for about a week after that because I was so pissed off. Yeah, and then of course I did it again when it came to Aftermath and stuff, but I didn't get a bruise this time. I was just like, come on, this is supposed to be an emotional scene. You have to get it right.
Hey, Hugh, is that an airplane?
No. Yes. Okay, so you guys deal with neighbors, but so we live in an area where it's literally there's an airport that's close by and all that, and so sometimes these small, it's not one of these big airports, but like one of these small ones where like the small 1 people plane, 4 people planes,
propeller engine planes, which go
and literally they always pass over my house every time, and it's happened so many in recording sessions before, and the fact there was 3 planes that specific day, and I was so frustrated because they kept getting in it.
Oh geez, don't even get me started. I quite literally, that direction from my room, quite literally that direction, 500 feet is an elementary school.
Oh
God.
Oh no.
So every day at before work at 7:30, there's a bunch of traffic going in, and then it's well, not now, but before COVID, before all the coof hit, every day 2:30 to 3:30 was a solid block where I couldn't do anything because of all the kids walking by and all the cars going by to pick up their kids. It's no.
Quick,
so I either get home
gotta
early.
Get this line in before the next one comes.
It's I either get home early, and it's okay, I got 20 minutes to record 50 billion lines, and fuck! Here comes all the cars.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds like hell.
And then we got
lag spike.
And then we got 6 people that live down the street with the little Honda rice burners with the fart cans on them. So every time I'm getting a really good light.
Oh my god.
Hey Cole, we're losing your visual.
Yeah,
I'm working on it. My
Okay.
There
my
we go.
webcam's a little old.
Okay.
I think a couple of the wires are up there. Yep, it's wanting to retire.
Yeah, I think you need some new gear.
Can I share
Simon,
some?
to answer your
Yeah.
Say
question,
one thing about my headset.
No,
I'm gonna
we
kill you.
haven't.
Yeah, go ahead,
You and
Feather.
I have not met in person.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay,
Feather.
so I remember specifically when I was doing a recording with you, I literally messaged you right before and I'm like, hey, so there's a military flyby going on this day. And so there's going to be like maybe a minute where I can't record anything.
Yeah,
You get
I
like
remember
60 Blackhawks going on.
I'm just, because I'm right next to where they would be flying by because we have a freaking hospital, maybe not even a mile away in that direction. And they suddenly I'm just hearing everything and I'm like, okay, I think I hear them crawling, and they just suddenly go by. And then immediately my dad decides, well, time to open the garage door like 5 times. And I'm right underneath, like I'm right above the garage. Like
Oh,
I do it is
no.
right above the freaking garage. And it sucked so much because I had to be like, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It was all good. It worked out in the end.
And then
That's why I like recording in my basement here. It's like the only thing I have to worry about is my cat when she wants to make ad
I
libs.
don't have a basement.
Well, you know what? You're special, so you can go off and do whatever you want.
Canada!
I have to go to the music room.
The music room?
I have to rent a key
Oh
from
my
the front desk. Yeah.
Oh my
we
god,
always have a
yeah!
music room, like the
That's
piano right
oh,
here.
yeah. What's all that fucking piping above your head?
It's in the basement.
Okay, yeah.
Music piping,
It's
you know?
right. It's right near the laundry rooms and all that.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough.
So when someone's doing laundry, you're just boned.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's some motor going on right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. But...
No, I can't
No.
hear it.
Nope.
Okay,
Wow.
good.
Thank God it's college and people don't wash their shit sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks.
Agreed. I think
Okay,
I got my
let's
one figured out.
let's
Just
see.
gotta-
So that was a chat question.
Yep, I got more of them here.
Okay, what are we doing next, winners?
I'm going to go a relatively short one from Simon 7055 X X. I thought it said X Quest, but it turns out that's the question. Question for Hugh: have you a favorite line from voicing Garrett?
What's Garrett? Okay. I'm just thinking about all the episodes and stuff. I would say probably my favorite one has to be the one in episode 2, like one of the last lines that he says to Zack before the AA battery explodes and then he leaves and stuff like that. It's just like when he goes, "You have every right to hate them. It's time to stop. It's time to stop fighting for the people who ruined your life and stop anyone from doing it ever again." Like
Yeah, make
that
sure they can't
that
do
line
it
in
ever
particular.
again, yeah.
Do it ever again. That particular one, that was like one that I really gave a lot of power to and stuff, because that was like to really show intensity of just how much he hates the UNSC so much for what they did to him, which of course now everyone knows exactly what they did do to him.
Well,
Thanks to
and
Aftermath.
more than that, it was the first time somebody told Zack that it was okay to feel that way about it. You know, like I can't imagine.
exactly.
I can't imagine anybody, not even Denver, going like, "Hey, man, it's all right. You can be pissed off at them for what they did." Nobody ever brought that up to him before. So if he ever thought that before, he probably just crushed it down, thinking, "Oh, if I feel like that, they're gonna be mad at me or something."
Yeah, but it
Don't hurt
was
me,
Mark.
Daddy.
Yeah, but it was Marcus that brought it back up and stuff. And in fact, his very existence of just being alive and being revealed to be alive, it just brings back so much from Zack up that it compromises him in
Mhm.
a great many ways. So
My
Does it
favorite
really-
lines that you did for Garrett is everything in the portal room in episode 4, part 4. Of
oh
of
yeah, that
Brotherhood
was
War.
where I got really emotional, like actually legitimately emotional, and I didn't mean to be and all that. Like I was just
Oh, it was
doing the
so
line,
good,
but
dude.
it was just like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just I literally lost. And then it's like, of course, I held it back as much as I could because I didn't want to get anything on the microphone and all that. But it's just like I was like, that was a genuine reaction stuff. So it was
Yeah,
very.
and your favorite line made it into the trailer. That's how good it was.
It did. Yeah, it was one of my favorite ones to really bring the raw intensity to. And stuff.
Okay, what's next, Cole?
Okay. Also, this just gonna warn you right now. This webcam is really wanting to fight me, and I'm wanting to fight it.
As long as we can hear you.
Exactly. That'll be fine. Unless I die, then that won't be fine. So Ren, I see your question in the chat about Obi and the legacy character. Fuck you, webcam. Character.
That's the answer.
Don't. I have one for that, so don't worry. We'll get to that. But I'm gonna get to another one of your questions. This one for Feather. How did you land the role of Denver? Did Chronicler approach you? Did a Chronicler approach you with the role, Grammar, or were you recommended by a friend, or did you audition?
Chronicler literally came to me and said, "Hey, so the original voice actor for Denver can't come back, and do you want it?"
Yeah, that's about right.
That's basically what happened.
Well, more to the point, the reason I approached you and not, say, Kat or Nyoka or Ashley or anything or anybody like that was because we had just worked on Omega Halo.
Yeah.
And you were Sergeant Knight. And while listening to your Sergeant Knight editing in scenes, I went, yeah, she could do a good job as Denver, like picking up where Emma left off. So yeah, I thought you were very well suited for the role. And I stand by that. I think you've done extremely well. In fact, when my dad and I first screened Aftermath, and we watched the whole thing around the time it was getting released, just for the first time he'd seen it, he didn't comment on a whole lot of performances, except yours.
Oh.
During the scene where Zack leaves, and he said, "Wow, she did a really good job."
Damn.
Yeah, and my dad doesn't say a whole lot of stuff like that, so well done.
Recognition.
Yeah. So a round of applause. Piss off, webcam. I do want to say,
Piss off, webcam.
before we continue, speaking of just good performances, can we get like a small round of applause for Alyssa as Lifebringer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Babe, you'll watch this later. Yeah, she can't be here right now. She's celebrating her birthday, which was earlier this week, with her mom. Make it clear.
Well, happy belated birthday to her.
Happy
Yeah, she did
birthday.
Happy late birthday.
Yeah, she did an amazing job. So just wanted to
Oh, didn't she
give
though?
a quick round of applause to her.
Yeah, I'm so fucking
Yeah,
proud
she did.
of her,
I mean-
man.
I mean,
This
look,
is the
I know
role
you're
she was
biased.
made for.
I know you're biased and all, but
Well,
All
yeah,
right,
but
I
I
I
mean,
can attest to that.
so the first role she was ever cast in was Eno in Biker on 3, and she fucking hated that role. But she loves playing the Lifebringer like a little too much.
Yeah, I'm a little scared now.
You better be careful there, Kron.
Oh, I know I'm playing with
Yeah.
fire. Don't worry, I won't get burned.
But
That's what they all say.
I do have to say, though, because I mean, in the end, everyone just did a fantastic job across the board. But I do have to give it to frickin' Tatsu for the Manias performance. I mean,
Yeah, can we get some Manias voice?
Yeah.
Come on, Manias voice, Manias voice.
that that accent and the fact that it just sounded completely like Sean Connery somehow joined in the Spartan Legacy. Rest in peace, Sean Connery.
Oh yeah, he
Yes.
just
Yeah. It was still an amazing voice and stuff. And of course, when I showed my folks about it, and goes like, "That's Sean Connery who's in this," and stuff, and as I had to explain, no, that's not even how he actually sounds. He sounds completely different.
Well, thank you very
It's
much.
amazing.
Your compliment gives me great pleasure.
That's just
Really is very good.
That's so good.
Yeah, no, when Alyssa and I watched the blooper reel for Brotherhood War the first time, and we had some of Manias's bloopers in, and you would do the voice, and then you'd flub up and you'd switch back to your regular voice. Alyssa went, "What? That's what it sounds like?" Yeah, dude, it's so good. Now, my other favorite voice transformation is Nick playing Carlisle, because Carlisle, he goes, "Senator Isaka, would you please make me a bread and butter sandwich?" I love Carlisle's voice, Nick.
I do have, funny enough, that. Oops, sorry, go.
I was gonna say, you give Alyssa a little bit of a big transition. We could always have, Manias go up against a meeting with his other favorite character, Noob.
Oh my god, your range
amazing.
never fails to disappoint.
Well, but that's the
Pat's.
thing.
Goddamn.
It started like with generations. Of course, it started with me doing the voice for Harper and all that, and how everyone was amazed by that. And then now look who we have now, like all these other people and all that. So it's like it started with me, and then everyone else that just followed, just like completely out of the water. And all
Oh, we
that.
lost Obi's webcam too.
No, at least his works. I have to fight mine.
So
piece of
it
machinery.
occurs to me that I don't get to brag about doing a voice in this series because now that Zack is not just an emotionless robot, he basically sounds like me.
Yeah, well,
Because he is you.
and see, that's why I like you in the role so much, because you've managed to pull off that, he's very flat, he's very emotionless soldier. But now when he's coming out more into his own, he still retains some of that softness, and it's not what you usually see in, like a Spartan machinima. Usually when people are making Spartan machinimas, everybody sounds super badass and everything like that, and it gets really fucking repetitive. And we have you with Zack, and, he's really soft-spoken, and his voice isn't, like, super gravelly or anything. We have other characters for that,
Yeah, he
right?
sounds like he's like 14.
Yeah.
You got that right.
No, but it's really good, and I really like your performance as Zack, Ben.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think before we get to the next fan question, I just wanted to ask Tatsu. I had a little bonus question under one of mine. Exactly on Manias' voice. Fuck you, webcam. Follow-up question. As someone of Irish descent, why did you choose the fucking Scottish accent?
Well, actually, it's just something that I've
Thank you,
always
Hugh.
not necessarily something that I was aiming for. It's just something I've always been able to do, kind of. And I think even when I sent the initial audition into Kron, I think I gave like two or three other examples as well.
Yeah, you did.
And that was just the one that stuck.
Yeah.
So after he picked it, I was like, oh crap, now I got to go watch a bunch of Sean Connery clips and make sure I can at least get it similar, because
One take only.
But dude, it's so worth it. It's such a memorable voice. Part of me regrets the fact that he was fake the whole time, because now I can't bring him back.
Yeah.
I'll message you later about a headcanon I got, but whatever.
All right, cool.
It's not so much the accent that I was going for, it was just the uniqueness of the voice.
Mhm.
And it just so happens to be Scottish.
Yeah.
That was my initial thing with it. The accent had nothing to do with it. It just, that was a tack on.
Gotcha. I just wanted to ask because fucking Scots, man, I tell you.
Of course, we could have always had Manias being the Irishman, gunning out there. Oh,
You sound like you need to be working on the engines of the Enterprise or something like that.
Oh, I tell you what, Captain, I could give it all.
Captain!
I'm giving her all she's got, Captain. I know I cannot do nothing more.
You think he shot
Get a wrench over there. Forgive me, lassie. I cannot give her no more.
I don't need that image in my head. I guess I have to.
I'm so happy I unleashed that, whatever the hell that was.
All right, let's move on from here. Where are we going next?
Yeah.
So I'm a doctor, not an engineer. So I'll hold on to this last fan question for a little bit, because I still have a lot of other ones to ask.
Yeah, and we're already an hour in.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's what time flies when you're having fun.
Oh yeah.
But this one's for Feather and Riley in particular. So Zack and Denver got to know each other on Cradle, but in Brotherhood War and Aftermath, they got to know each other a little bit too much. What was it like voicing those lines and getting that chemistry down despite not being able to record together in the same place? Like, I'm just purely curious.
You guys have never
really
met
nailed
before
it.
this, have you?
Yeah.
Are you insinuating We're
Lag
waiting
spike.
that Zack and Denver had sex.
No. You yelled lag spike right as CS.
Yeah, all I heard is, are you insinuating? Why, yes, ma'am, I am. Also, I will confirm that they didn't.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
good.
not at all what I was insinuating, but okay, that's some added assurance that I didn't think
Yeah.
I need. Now I
Oh my-
Now, between Aftermath and Hyborian, that's up for debate. But for Brotherhood War and Aftermath, yeah, they weren't there yet.
That's
Kind of a depressing time too.
That's the question I didn't have on my list of things to ask. But back to the original question.
Hey, yeah, do these two characters fuck?
I expected that one to come from the comments.
I just like I can just imagine from like something from the ASDF movie.
Lag spike.
Oh my
You doesn't guess.
None of the actual question. What was it like just getting sort of like chemistry down between both of you, having never met, not being in the same place, just with all those challenges? How'd you guys knock it out of the park so well?
The writing.
Probably the writing, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's all I've got for it. It was the way it was written just made it supernatural, and a lot of that is because of the like evolution of Zack over time. That it's easy, like the way that I'm portraying it, it's easy to understand like the confusion that he has about these feelings and like how he doesn't know how to handle them. And I think a lot of the chemistry comes from like that confusion and the like his general unwillingness to try to address things that he doesn't understand. So just the fact that it's written as well as it is makes it, at least on my end, really easy to do and to portray.
That, yeah, that's a fair point. I got
Yeah,
nothing for that.
I'll take that compliment and I'll hold back the tears for later. Thank you.
Yeah, he's gonna get through the entire stream and then he's gonna go click.
I mean, this might be getting into too much of my childhood, but anything. But when I was little, I used to like just play around in the shower, just do voices and stuff like that. And a lot of the times that I would do, because I was a hopeless romantic at that time, I would literally do like confession love scenes in the shower by myself.
Oh
Doing
my God,
both
I used
voices?
to do that in my head, and they never worked IRL.
I need to go on record and say that I definitely haven't done exactly the same thing that she has done a lot of times in the shower. Definitely never occurred.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that.
Also, I think I fixed my webcam. I had to plug it into a different port.
You fixed yours. Obi's died.
Okay. It was going to be really...
Never
You
be
lifted your
perfect.
arms up and it lagged for a minute, and I was like, please let it go out. Please let it go out as soon as
They're
his
the
arms
worst.
go out.
No, but to touch on the question again, yeah, the simple fact that this is your guys' first time actually being able to interact with each other, and the fact that your performances together in Brotherhood War and Aftermath are so fucking stellar. You guys did such a good job, and I'm so proud of both of you.
Yeah, you guys really knocked it out of the park.
Like, as a
Like,
director, I'm so proud.
Yeah.
You
As
guys,
a dipshit,
you
I'm
guys
happy.
are the center stone of this series, of the Lifebringer saga. This story is primarily about you two, so just fucking well done and thank you. Lag Spike.
Thank you. Hey, you're a little late on that one.
Yeah, a little late. Well, hey, it's a
Oh,
lag spike. That's to be expected.
Okay, let's move.
All right. So, Kron, this one's for you.
Oh boy.
Or you know what? Hold on. Dragoon, I wanna talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, let's
Sorry,
get some-
Kron.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
I'll get to you later,
Okay.
maybe if you're lucky enough.
If
For
you're good.
Dragoon, so you got to make a freaking space battle, and it ruled. What was it like just doing all that? 'Cause that can't be like easy to do, especially that dogfight scene. Like that can't be super easy.
Fun fact, I did not storyboard the dogfight. That was all him.
Damn it, Dragoon, stop being so impressive. You got to make the space battle of your and our dreams. If Block was here, he'd be screaming his head off about it.
Yeah,
It wasn't like just doing all that CGI, especially since you got more time to fiddle around with everything. For people who remember from Omega War, you didn't get as much time.
Omega
You
War.
had
Yeah, you were last
Omega War.
minute.
Piss off.
This
We
guy.
had plenty of time this time to do it. So like, just talk us through it. I want to hear the process.
Well, I would say the process was very, very good. You know, I got to have more time to work on the space battle scenes that I got to see. You know, the storyboards, like usual. I guess they were not as complicated as I thought. I'm not quite sure which ones I'm not quite sure which ones were complicated to work on, but I think
Anything that you added flak into was probably a little more complicated.
yeah, like the longsword scene. I mean,
yeah.
that was
Tactically.
like the longsword scene that was actually added in, and also the Order 66 scene. There was actually there's a certain angle where you see like the marathons like going above the frigates that were going down the earth. That was also
That was also
not
you,
part of the
yes.
story.
And that was so good with them fucking flying through the smoke of the frigates as the frigates were going down. I think, though, my favorite shot that you did is when the frigates are falling towards Earth, and Earth is in the background. You have the 4 frigates. You know,
or
going
5
down.
actually.
Huh?
Oh, 5.
5 actually.
5 was it?
but
Okay,
I-
yeah. So
You're underplaying them.
that looks so good. That looks so fucking good, man.
Yeah, but I mean, I wish I could do better. But I mean, I'm still considering me as a basic one. But I do hope. But I do know the next one, Hyborian. I plan to advance with source filmmaker, such as the particle effects, the lighting, and many more stuff. Because
Yes.
I'm gonna
That will
focus.
you will,
I'm gonna try to.
you will use that.
Also planning on learning on how to do the textures in Blender, just to look into it. That's all.
Yeah, no, sounds good, man. I'm
But
excited
if there
for
is
what you can do.
yeah, if there's a couple of favorite shots that I do like, I don't know. I would say it's probably the dogfight in the Order 66. Yeah.
Grun, you never fail to impress, man. Every
Yeah.
time I've seen your work, it's
And also the Infinity.
always been impressive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like really interesting because if you ever watch like other machinima, they're always like using just cutscenes, and I was like, man, what cutscene did this come from out of the game? I don't remember this being in there. So
Custom fucking
That-
tailored,
yeah.
man.
I had to watch it a second time. I was like, oh wait, this is like handmade. So I liked it. It was
Yeah,
good.
you never fail to impress from Omega Halo, to
You got it right this
Aftermath
time.
and beyond. Look, man, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You did a great job, and I can speak for all of us here that we're thankful that we got a CGI artist as good as you are working with us.
Yeah.
Dude,
Mm.
without
but-
you, Omega Halo wouldn't have made it. Brotherhood War and its sequels would be impossible.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. But thank goodness you
Oh
got me.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I hope we could get another animator, like someone who could actually do like very advanced CGI, like for example, like having the ship be blown to pieces.
yeah, that would be
And you know,
interesting.
this also I want to confess on something. You know, in Spartan's Omega Halo, where the Halo blows up into pieces,
Yeah.
that was After Effects. You know, because I was so pressured on getting it done, I thought about like having the Halo be in pieces, like importing that to Blender, and you know, but due to
Oh,
being
yeah.
you know certain time limitations,
Mhm.
there was not enough time. Like darn, I wish I could do. I just wish I had done it better, like have it like blown to pieces, but like more 3D.
Yeah. Well, don't feel too bad, man, because what you did deliver with such a small window of time rocked. So you did really good
Yeah,
considering
yeah,
the
like, 'cause
limitations
I
of the
remem-
time.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that shot where basically just how the ring explodes as compared to, of course, like in the actual game Halo CE, when of course there's this one piece that just crashes into the other and then it's separated. You made the whole thing just like the whole ring and stuff just cracks into different pieces and stuff and separates. That was just an amazing shot. As well as the one that was in the blooper shot where the ring just goes fucking to the side.
Yeah, okay. You were doing some visual trickery there, was because you were doing what do they call it? They used in Lord of the Rings to make
Miniature
the
effect.
Huh?
Miniature effect.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Because the planet was not actually that big.
Yeah, I actually did that for Brotherhood War as well.
Yeah, you did with Earth in the background, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, very.
I mean,
good
it wasn't that like a very big. It was like I guess like let's
Lag spike.
just say it's like a size of a building, and
Mhm.
the ships were like human sized.
Okay, yeah, that
I
makes
don't know.
sense. No, it looks really good. Well done.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And then talking about other animators, yeah, anybody who wants to join the team is welcome to. I know that while planning Hyborian, I looked into somebody who could do character animation, like in Blender. And I asked him what his rate was, and he said $100 a minute, and I would. I don't have that kind of cash.
Okay.
I know Blender artists in a few servers and stuff who do not charge for that high, or I'm pretty sure none of them charge at all, to be honest. And stuff.
Don't
It's
get
just
me
all
wrong. I
out.
don't blame the guy at all because it's stressful
Yeah.
times, and you gotta make money off of what you're doing if you
Yeah.
can. But yeah, I don't know.
People are very busy
but,
these days.
Yeah.
But a minute,
That's
like
Who
God,
I could
like
pay for
that's-
college with that money. Ron, just to point out, Cannon Built in the chat is saying,
Yeah, I saw that.
in all capital letters, DM me. I know someone who can do good. I almost said do good geeky eye CGI.
May I mention something?
Yeah.
May I mention something? I do know another good source filmmaker animator. I think his name is Quinn Craftables. He does like Godzilla and stuff, but he actually does. I do know he does have Blender.
Mhm.
I can't tell you too much about it, but I'm pretty sure I guess I would say he's more advanced, more experienced than I am. So
Yeah,
I
but
could probably message him. We
that
could
may be
probably
the
message
case,
him.
but you have one thing that all these other potential animators don't, Dragoon. You have loyalty and dedication, and I prize that more than anything else. Because look at the guy who did the stuff for Lifebringer. Like, he was really good at it. And
that was
he got it
that
done.
was fantastic.
But he wasn't loyal, and in the end, that ended up causing the trouble with Omega Halo that brought you into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I do appreciate that as well. I appreciate everyone who's loyal because I don't deserve it, but you guys do it anyway. So it makes me feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, we're
Yes,
basically
do
the
it.
family of the Spartan Legacy.
Yeah, the family of the Spartan
Yeah.
Legacy. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. The family of Spartan Legacy and the one crazy uncle, i.e. me.
Well, if you
Yeah,
can
I
just
am also an
fucking
uncle as
finish
well.
Zulu Flight, you'll be part of this
I'm
family.
working on it, man. So I'm good. I'm learning it. I went in deep, and I'm like, oh, I'm having to learn on the fly. I'm trying.
All right.
Moving back to the questions. Thank you, Dragoon. I'll have another one for you later. Just
Okay.
wanted to make sure you get in there. This is more of just another fun little short jokey question. For Nick and Alex. Nick, how does it feel to get absolutely owned by Galloway?
Uh,
God.
I don't know. I don't. Okay, here's the thing. I don't really read the script. I just read my lines, so I don't like to spoil it for myself. So, I'm trying to
Long live the
Wow.
Lifebringer. No.
So,
I'll give you anything you want.
I just like I read the line and I'm like, okay, this is probably a scene where I'm gonna die. So let me be dramatic. Or this is a scene where I need to be touching. That's where Chronicler had to come in and be like, so no, your wife is being dragged off, or you're being dragged off from your wife, you're being separated. And I was like, oh, I didn't read that part.
I have
Anytime,
stage directions there for a reason.
I know. I'm just.
No, it's
I was
fine.
gonna be surprised by what I read, but when I see it, so I was like, I don't want to spoil myself. I'm just gonna read my lines and see what happens. So,
That is the best answer I could have gotten for that question. I was expecting something very different, but that was way better.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is
thank you.
better.
All right. For the next one, Obi, it's been a second since we've heard your amazing voice.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, it's not that bad.
You sure?
So, okay, maybe a little bad.
Can do
Oh,
it.
hold on.
Nope, go for it.
Hold on. Simon? Yes. Okay, go.
You didn't say Simon says yes. So I can't go. What are you doing?
No, I was responding to something Simon asked because I could do
Oh,
it real quick.
I was being a smartass. Never
Okay.
mind.
Anyway, question. Hit him.
For Obi.
Yeah.
So I have Sergeant Scott written here. Sergeant Scott, Spartan Scott, everyone's favorite mustache badass, whatever you want to call him. Everyone's favorite. Oh, actually, what I have here is everyone's favorite ODST turned war criminal. What has it been like to see his growth from ODST to Spartan to someone who will absolutely be tried guilty at the Hague?
Ooh.
Wow.
Assuming you make it.
Exactly.
The ghost of Braxton will have his revenge.
Wasn't my fault, Braxton. I was just following orders.
Because
They were
good
stupid
soldiers
orders.
follow orders, right?
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Oh,
Like, like when I started voicing Scott and just reading along, it's like I was just okay, cool. I'm in a Halo Machinima. I'll just do this. I'll base off of this character and that character. But it's like it wasn't really until Final Farewell and Brotherhood that I really, really got into it. It's like I started thinking about it. I was like, man, this guy is freaking badass. Like he goes from Marine
To
to ODST.
Yeah.
And then to Spartan. It's like I remember after Omega Halo came, I was like, okay, yeah. So Spartan Scott when? It's like because this guy just keeps leveling up, and then comes Brotherhood War, and he is Spartan, but then at the very end he turns into a bad guy. He's like, oh frig. It's just, it's like I find it amusing because, in a way, he is kind of like a progressive watcher. He is experiencing the whole legacy. He's like
Him and
aside from
Guardian.
that-
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Guardians, like him and Guardian are pretty much the last of the Omega Halo bunch,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and depending on how Hyborian progresses, like personally, I'm hoping that Scott stays. Whether or not he's gonna be tried, hey, that's what happens.
So this right here, that's poker face.
That is, I say this in the best way possible. That is, you got to work on your poker face. I don't have a poker face.
I know.
Here, we can work on it together. We can go to Vegas and lose all of our money, i.e., my $50 and whatever YouTube money you make.
I don't like gambling.
Same. Going on. Oh, let's see. Going on from that, Kron, I promised I'd ask you a
Yeah,
question
hit me.
earlier. I'm not gonna hit you. For Kron,
I want you to hit me.
give me a couple days. I'll bike down to where you are and I'll punch you.
Just ask the fucking question.
So, Omega Halo, we're filming in Halo 3, and we already touched on this a bit earlier, but now we jump to Halo 5,
Yeah.
which isn't on MCC. It's its own game, got its own Forge, shenaniganery. What challenges in this? What did you gain, like, filming in Halo 5 that you would not have gotten in Halo 3? I know there's some obvious ones here, but, like...
Oh, yeah, let me just roll out the
what are some of
fucking
the really big ones?
list here. Okay, let's see. Massively expanded Forge, obviously, as far as designing environments, which I think 99%, if not all, of the sets in Brotherhood War and Aftermath were built in Forge, compared to Omega Halo, which was like 15% were forged. So, obviously, that's a big upgrade. Weather effects, different lighting options. On each map has like a morning and a midday and an afternoon/night setting. So many more Forge canvases. You have Alpine and the ice one and the desert one and the underwater one. And by the time that the Lifebringer saga is done, I will have used every single one of them multiple times. Let's see. Slightly improved animations. There's a couple of hiccups here and there, but mostly the one I'm thinking of is the ability to, aim down sight. That one's pretty good.
Well, and lower weapons
And
publicly too.
lowering weapons and actually have them lowered while you walk compared to Halo 4.
Oh, and not only that, but not having to, like, break your hand to get it to work in Halo 3.
Yeah, literally just X and down on the D-pad for 3 seconds. So good. What else? Massively expanded arsenal of weapons and vehicles. Thank you, Warzone, for adding in all these extra variants of shit.
Specifically Tom French, because he's the one that did all this.
Yeah. And then I didn't actually realize this was a benefit until recently, but you know how we can only pick a helmet and a body and a visor? That is actually so much fucking easier than having to tell people, okay, you need this helmet and this shoulder and this shoulder and this body and these knees and these elbows. That's actually a lot easier to work with. So that's not bad.
Yeah, the only thing that was just the issue was the fact of who has it, because with just the way,
RNG
just the way that getting, just the way of getting it all. We won't get too much into it because we've done it before, but just getting all the like finding the people that just had this specific kind of armor, that was a challenge. But thankfully, the armors that we used, there wasn't anything too crazy. It was only just like one or two characters that we just needed a specific thing for, and luckily we knew people that had them. So
we got folks like Clumsy Guy and Golden Samurai
and me.
and Tag Force and Ebon Blade and people like them who have been playing the game for 5 years, so they have so much shit unlocked.
And I had
you had quite a bit as well when you were able to come in,
stuff.
Yeah, the high level BA guys really came in clutch, because my pack luck is horrible.
Yeah, so serious shout out to the body actors for
Yes.
this whole entire series as well.
The body actors did so fucking well this time around. They got their own video.
Yeah, we had a whole video dedicated to them.
The ones who get shot at, blown up, cut up, and occasionally respawn.
Yeah,
it's always fun to get that.
And then one last thing, a big improvement that Halo 5 lent is the custom game camera mode, where I don't have to go back into theater. I can just, we're all there in the custom game, and I can detach the camera from the character and go and record everything live as it's happening, which that was, aside from the scenes shot in Halo Reach, all of Aftermath was done that way. I did not use theater for Aftermath in Halo 5 at all. So that was really nice to have.
Yeah, and it was a lot less stressful too, because not that the Halo 5 theater is like the worst thing in the world, but it's pretty bad. It has issues. It has so many issues and stuff in it that's just like, ugh. It's like you gotta follow these specific steps in order to make sure that things go accordingly. But however, since this was a much smaller scale thing to work with, the machinima mode really helped out. So.
Yeah. Cannon Bolt says, Halo 5 is annoying, but at least it's got primary and secondary colors.
We won't get into that for right now.
Probably not now, because I'll take up the next hour of time talking about how much I fucking hate the idea of armor coatings.
Agreed. So I'm gonna shut you up before you
there,
go on the tangent. So for Riley and Mega, Garrett and Zack, some of the last Spartan 3s, you piece of shit. What was it like? What was it like portraying a relationship like theirs, especially during Brotherhood War, where they're actively trying to kill each other? Well, relatively.
I mean, I wouldn't say they were actually trying to. Well, the thing with Marcus and Zack, so the whole thing between them is that they weren't really trying to actively kill each other. Yeah, they killed the other ones from the other side, like other Spartans on their side, other people on the side. Like, they will fight other soldiers, but because they have such a powerful connection together, that's not something that you could just do so easily. Like, you think that, with such a strong bond that they had for years, they literally grew up together in this program, as shown a bit in Aftermath. They have such a large history. That's not something you can just easily go over for both of them. You could tell how much both of them were hesitating. You could see how much Zack was hesitating. You could see how much Garrett was hesitating. Like, he kept giving so many offers every time that they met. Before finally the last time and stuff, where he just felt devastated that he really just wouldn't accept this offer and all that. They were... Yeah, so the relationship is certainly complicated because both of them are dedicated to their own causes, but they just can't find it in themselves to fully commit to that one act.
I think that's a lot more true for Garrett than it is for Zack.
You think so?
At least, especially at the beginning when Zack didn't know who Garrett was. Like, Zack was definitely ready to kill him. Then he found out, and that made it a little different. But even then, Zack was not really breaking the conditioning until a little ways in after he knew who Garrett was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
it
get the
took some
impression
time.
that like at least for a while after that reveal, I think Zack would have been willing to kill Garrett if he was really given the opportunity to, even if he would have hesitated.
But he
I can
couldn't.
kinda see that.
That's the
Yeah, he
thing.
couldn't.
Every time they came face to face after that moment, he couldn't pull the trigger. Because they encountered each other 2 more times after that. Once at Isaka's base, and fucking he had him right there on the precipice in the snow valley, and he couldn't pull the trigger. And then later on at the portal building, he had him right there, and still couldn't fucking do it.
And those were the instances where like the conditioning was really breaking down. Like
Yeah.
those were the times when you could see it. But like up until then, I definitely would think that Zack was just trying to protect everything that he had.
No, yeah,
then,
you're definitely
because that's
right.
all he knew.
Yeah.
And I think where Marcus actually had his conditioning kind of break down.
Black Spike.
Because the first time he was very committed to the Reformation cause.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he was very committed to the reformist cause and stuff. But I think after Zack saves his life from the Lifebringer, well, first of all, exposes what she was doing, like what she was actually doing with Asaka and all that, like kind of using her as a hostage. And then when he jumps in the way to save his life and stuff, that's when like Marcus just really took that in and stuff. And that's something that kind of also comes out later in the final episode of Aftermath, where he's just like really, when as soon as he walks in the room, he's just going like, what are you doing here? Not like in a demanding voice and stuff. It's just like he feels so much just from their last encounter and all that. So it's kind of like the same kind of effect that was happening with Zack was happening exactly to him as well.
And then I ruined that scene with an awesome butt shot. Which, guessing by this reaction, nobody remembers.
I remember.
When Zack walks in and the camera pans, it goes behind Garrett's behind for a second, and I didn't even see it because I was focusing on Zack, and I edited it, and I was like, oh shit, there's his ass.
You gotta really.
That's the Reformation's ass right there.
As far as I'm
Ass
concerned,
is
that's
gross,
the
man.
Reformation's ass.
Your ass is gross, man.
Simon has a really good question. Do you see that one, Cole?
Which I've got a couple from
He's
Simon
got a
on
few,
my
but I'm
list.
talking
Is
about the
it
one that says where Isaka and Garrett made on the spot.
Yeah, I do see that.
So let's hit that real quick.
I'm gonna hit. We can hit a couple of the fan ones because I've been slowly collecting them. Also, I just grabbed my brother's webcam. I've given up with my other one.
Yeah, that looks a lot better.
Hopefully this
All
works.
right.
If not, I'm gonna murder someone.
Hey, before we move on to another
Yeah.
question,
Black Spike.
hey, Chronicler, have you finalized the writing for the next iteration?
Not quite
Have you
yet. We
Can you hear
have.
me?
I have to finish one more part, and then I have to go back over everything and make sure it doesn't suck dick, and then I'll be sending it out.
Right.
Can you work in a line somewhere about just how fucking sick Zack is of dealing with the Lifebringer?
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I'll have to get that in somewhere.
Well,
How many
wait,
times do I have to
wait.
teach you this lesson, old woman?
No, I'll have to. Thank you for the idea. I'll have to get that in somewhere.
But so
imagine-
what was the question about Garrett and Isaka?
So the question for Kron and Hugh, for you guys, were Isaka and Garrett made right on the spot when Hugh came forward, or did they already exist before Hugh stepped in and expanded on them as characters?
Hugh, I'm gonna let you take this one. Black Spike.
Entirely, because the main struggle that Chronicler was having with the Reformists and stuff. So the Reformists were already set up in Lifebringer, so he had that before I came in. I was just originally just the voice actor, and I even voiced as a very radical Reformist in Lifebringer, as the one yellow guy who just charges with a sword and stuff, so pissed off. But so he really needed something to make them more menacing, something to make them important, and not just some faction and stuff.
A grounding element.
And so like I just began to think of like, okay, so what could he possibly do? And so that was when the idea of these two characters that I had in mind, one being the main leader of the group and then second in command. And so for the leader of the group, I thought maybe it should be a woman and stuff because of course the Lifebringer was the first female antagonist that we've had in the Spartan Legacy series and stuff, and I figured we could have another one, especially since I knew this one actress, Ashley Ashwara, who, as much as we wish she could have been here, she's had a lot going on in her life too.
Different time zone as well.
Completely different time zones from her. But I've been working with her for quite a while. She's helped voice for some of my stuff, and I've worked with her in other projects. So it's like, she's such an amazing voice actress. It's like, I totally think she could do an amazing villain and stuff. So it's like, okay, I have this character in mind, and I just figured, okay, so she would play that character, and I think, okay, maybe I could voice the second in command, possibly, and all that. So I thought, like, okay, so it's going to be the main leader. I came up with the name Nyla Isaka just randomly because I just wanted to come up with a very
lag spike.
Oh nope, your headset just quit.
Got your ears on.
Good job.
Nothing there.
Oh no!
No!
No! That's even worse than my.
Yes.
Hey! Oops, sorry, I hit my thing by accident and stuff. All right, but so yeah, Nyla Asaka, the name was just made because I wanted to come up with something unique, and so I thought, okay, if we're gonna make her look like the leader, she should actually look special. So that's where the idea of having her wear the Helios scroll armor and all that, which it was a great choice to do, and of course have all the purple to represent the Covenant-ish and stuff. And so the idea was that, okay, if we're going to have this character involved, we need to introduce her in a big way and stuff, even before the series comes out. So that's where the idea of Judgment Short came in. And so I basically wrote the first draft of it, presented to Chronicler, and of course he went through it to add his own things as well as kind of fix up things that I maybe messed up on lore-wise. And so just like, okay, this is a great way to kind of have her introduced along with a new side of the Reformation as well, because not many people really knew what it was and stuff. At first, it seemed like more of a cult, but then we decided to kind of give it more.
Fucking even I didn't know at that point who they were really going to be.
Yeah, the idea was that it should have a more of a face. It should have a side to it in which where the lines aren't really clear, where it's not like that the UNSC are totally the good guys in this case, that there is actually there are people out there that want to fight for a better universe.
Yeah, let me just break in. I cannot stress how much Brotherhood War would have sucked if we didn't have Hugh's contributions. It would have been Zack fighting this nameless enemy, and then the Lifebringer would have come back, but we wouldn't have had any of Zack's growth. We wouldn't have had any of the nuance with him and Garrett. We wouldn't have had any of starting to question the UNSC's motives. We wouldn't have had any of that. So fucking thank you for saving my production, Hugh.
You're welcome. And then as for Garrett, his development was actually very interesting, because when I started with him, I actually didn't really know what to do with him at first.
We didn't know he was a Spartan in his inception.
Yeah. In the first draft of him, I didn't even make him a Spartan. The idea was that he was just going to be the second command who had the green sword, because that was the thing that we got the ability to.
And then we're making Brotherhood War, lag spike.
Fett.
We're making Brotherhood War, and he goes, hey, what if Garrett is a Spartan 3 and he has some past ties to Zack? And I went, whoo, now this is big brain time.
because I was just thinking and stuff, because it's like, okay, second in command, he's gonna take over from, so the idea of him taking over from Isaka after Isaka gets like screwed over by the Lifebringer, that was already in the bank and all that. I just felt like he can't be just the Boba Fett of the series. He's got to do something. And sure enough, after I was rewatching the Reach, the Last War in particular, where Zack was first introduced and stuff, they mentioned, of course, that he had a past in which he knew a lot of people died, like a lot of friends that died. And so I'm just going like, that could be something to be put on. And so that's when the idea is like, make Marcus Garrett a Spartan. And so
Yeah.
And the funny thing about his design and all that, like the colors that he wears, it's meant to make him look like an arbiter. That a little fun fact in case if you guys didn't catch on to that, like with the sword and all that. But he was meant to look like an arbiter and all that. But yeah, I was really glad that I came up with the idea, because it also gave him more of a role in the story as well. Because before he was not gonna be.
He was just a mook, like a well-promoted mook, but a mook nonetheless.
Yeah.
And this is something that I guess you taught me, Hugh, with this production. My entire process now goes, if I can pass on some knowledge to anyone else working on machinimas, it's you look at your idea and you go, okay, this is, but we can do more and we can do better. And you start extrapolating on these ideas, and all of a sudden these ideas start pairing up with these other ideas that you've been extrapolating on really well, and that's how you get good shit like Brotherhood War. You don't just go, okay, I'm perfectly fine with this being just this base layer of fine. You know, fine is not good enough. It's just fine. Yeah. You can do more. You can do better. Think about it. You know, and I didn't fucking fully realize that until now.
Yeah, and we definitely had that a lot happen as well for Aftermath, especially for the Reach segments in particular. Like that was a very interesting thing to go on about and stuff. And then even for Hyborian, we've had some pretty cool ideas that I've come up with and Kron's come up with together and all that. And we got some pretty cool stuff. That I think
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's funny, you guys. You answered one of my questions.
Lag spike.
And all this, and just looking at how the two of you have been talking, like I'm really excited for the future's coming. You got the veteranocity of Kron, you got the new ideas of Hugh. Like, I don't know. Call me excited and slightly worried for Hyborian.
It's like I'm excited to read the script, but at the same time, I don't want to read the script because I don't know what's going to happen. It's like,
it's going to be
how things can end. It's like,
it's gonna be something and stuff. Like we know that, of course, a lot of you guys probably felt like, oh, Aftermath was so short and stuff.
Yeah.
But we can promise you that that Hyborian is going to be much lengthier, and there's going to be a lot happening for everyone.
Yeah, I put this out in the official public announcement for Hyborian, but I'm expecting it to be around the length of, if not longer, than Brotherhood War. So. It is going to take longer to make, though. Like, that's the reason Aftermath came out so fast is because we made it in 6 months. 6 months will probably be how long it takes to design the fucking sets for Hyborian, let alone anything else.
But thankfully, we have Wolf here to help us out. Because that was the thing we did not have before when we had...
Before then, I was doing all the set building on my own, and that sucked. Because there's so fucking many sets!
So, Wolf is definitely going to be a big benefit.
I think if it's going to take that long, as the body actor representative here, can we have mandatory pee breaks?
You have to go piss! We have to piss right now!
I don't know.
Do I need to get the union?
This is no joke. Go piss right now.
We need to get the union involved. Do we need to go on strike? What's going on here?
Also, Vindicare Seal 274 asks, how old age is Garrett during Brotherhood War? Zack and Garrett are both in their 60s around that time, undefined 60s. But you also got to keep in mind, in Halo, at least in the Spartan Legacy, because everybody is spending so much time in cryosleep, you got to roll everybody like a good 20 years back. So they're more like physically 40. Logan is 80 and is more like physically 60. Denver is 40 and is more like physically 20-ish, 30. So yeah.
Zack is probably physically younger than Garrett, considering he just spent like half a decade floating in space.
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, okay, so maybe... Yeah, Zack lost 10 fucking years in space. So we'll call him 50-ish.
I think you brought up... So we brought up Denver being basically 30. And I want to ask Feather, what is it like playing Denver, a Marine in a world where Spartans begin to reign supreme? And what do you think... Like, just what are your thoughts on just Denver as a character? What do you think puts her above so many other just characters within the series itself, besides plot armor?
Besides plot armor, great. Yeah, because my last character died immediately, basically. Anyhow,
Welcome to the club.
Yep.
Not the point here, but to say very bluntly, a question was asked in Isaiah's server a while ago, and it was, who do you have the most fun voice acting of that I've done? And hands down, it is Denver. I love voice acting her because she's a change from Jessica, like a big change from Jessica. She has those low points, which I love doing. I love
Those
doing
are your strongest moments.
soft points.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, they're so nice. And I think that with Denver being a not a Spartan puts her on like a inferior playing field with the others, but she doesn't let that get her down, and I love that about her, that she doesn't despite being very upset when she was denied becoming a Spartan, which is a good thing now that we know this.
Yeah.
Whew. Imagine that plot twist.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Chronicler, get an AU where Denver becomes a Spartan.
Funny you should mention that.
Don't spoil things, Jake.
I'm not. Look, it's just an idea. Should we tell him about
All right.
Splintered Legacy?
Oh no.
Oh,
Yeah,
this
talk
thing.
about
You
it.
told me about this
Yeah.
thing.
Okay,
Yes,
sorry,
bitch.
not to overshadow the moment, but y'all fuckers brought it up. Okay, and keep in mind, this is entirely dependent on how much of a piece of shit Infinite is at launch, because it's going to be, but we don't know how much yet.
Yeah.
I am
Or
playing
just
with
more
the
interest
idea
in terms of,
of
like,
a 5-part anthology story where Guardian is thinking up how things might have went. And this would allow me to use every single other Halo engine again, like Halo 3 and Reach, and would explore things like my personal favorite currently was what if the 142 drop jet troopers did not get the message out that Reach was under attack by the Fleet Master. All of a sudden, the entire Reach trilogy, completely different. That is fucking fascinating. What if Saul was the one to make it off of Mega Halo instead of Catherine? Completely different chain of events. So, this is just an idea. It's not greenlit yet. But it's a possibility. Okay, let's get back to the stream.
You know,
'Cause
hold on. On
but-
that, do you know what would be really fun?
Yeah?
Is if we did that in the, you know how a lot of animes have like anthology episodes in the middle of the anime because they're
Yeah.
like not caught up with something? We could do it in the format of Guardian telling Zack what he's making these predictions of what things would have been like, so that like Zack can then just jump in and be like you're telling this whole story and then it breaks away and it's Zack talking to Guardian again and he's like, what the fuck?
Is this a kid?
Like
Yeah,
every time
it'll-
something really weird would occur, Zack is just like, why are you
Yeah.
even thinking
The only-
about this?
That's an
Yeah,
idea.
so-
Which could lead to something.
All right. So I will say this and stuff. We have different ideas of what we could do, and there's some pretty interesting one. Wait, what's going on here?
No idea, but I know.
But
I
yeah,
know
there's-
you. Oh, sorry, Mega. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Riley's getting his daily
I just have to
cleaning.
say this because I do have to do something. I do have to do something quickly downstairs, so I'll just say this one last thing and stuff.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
there are very interesting ideas we have for this Splinter Legacy, as we call, and we've discussed a few. And I think there's going to be some interesting ones that I think people will find very crazy and all that. Like, so it will be interesting to do. But
If
again,
we get to do it.
if
Yeah.
we get to do it, but I totally think it is possible only because we know that Infinite is going to have a bunch of expansions for more than likely, like a lot of DLC as well as any bug patches that they'll have, because of course any game that launches always has some bugs and stuff. So we know that there's definitely going to be a bit of a long waiting period, and so there's going to be stuff to do. And since MCC introduced all these really cool things like the forge items, I mean sabers and Halo Reach and all that, it's just like it would be a waste not to use.
Lag spike.
So Infinite fixes. It'll be something to fill the gap while Infinite is doing its thing, needing to fix whatever they need to and add whatever they need to, so that way we have full access to whatever it may offer if it goes around to that. So
but
I know
so
you.
I'll be back soon, guys.
Don't worry, I'll make sure to only ask questions for you.
I
I know it. Just to touch on the just to touch upon that Splintered. I've been seeing possible title that the fans are creating, Splintered Legacy. However you want to take that. I know you wasn't just you and Mega. I know you've reached out to a couple of us talking about that you want to. So it wouldn't just be you guys. It'd be think like Mandalorian. Like there would be multiple writers for these things.
Ren Val was one.
Yeah, Ren. I know Ren was one. You talked to me about it. I don't know why, but you talked to me about it. Like you talked to a couple. So if we ever get to do it, I will be very excited. Looking at some of my questions, and I really wish Block was here.
Yeah, it is a back burner project because the priority is Oddman Out Season 3. But anyway, let's get back to Brotherhood War because that's the topic.
Yeah.
And Feather, I'm sorry I didn't mean to give you a flat tire there.
Nah.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say on that question?
I think I touched everything. I mean, I'm just excited that maybe a interesting AU might be on the rise if that becomes a thing.
Okay, good. Everyone's excited. All right, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah, we're good to go.
All right.
Now I'm waiting for Saul Scott Battle Buddies.
Yes, please. So I'm gonna. Go ahead, Dragoon.
Okay, I just want to ask Chronicler a question. So, or actually, I would like to ask all of you a question. So, what would you consider to be the greatest Halo machinima ever made?
I can't really comment on that because I didn't really watch
If I say the wrong answer, the person on my screen to my left will murder me. So I'm gonna. I gotta think very hard.
I don't know who's on your left because we're all different.
You're on my left.
On your left.
On your left.
Probably. Oh God, best? Oh come on.
Not the best, like the greatest ever. The greatest Halo machinima ever
The
made.
greatest ever, like statistically, is probably Red versus Blue.
Ah.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe an answer, but like to me, it's Red versus Blue.
Yeah.
It's just like front to back hysterical.
Yeah, well, and
it started all the way back in 2003, and it's still going on to this day.
Seasons 11 through 13 have such strong storytelling.
Oh my God.
I can't, statistically, but my personal favorite is probably Arby and the Chief Season 5. That or One Life Remaining.
Oh my God.
Season 1. Because One Life Remaining was really relatable as for characters, because it wasn't like this big super hyper military mission. It was just dudes. But Arby and the Chief Season 5 had some of the best character growth for the Arbiter character that I've seen in a story in Machinima. So that's my answer.
Yeah. I'd like to say that I will give a hint after once we're doing the Q&A. So I will give a hint of something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to ask this, take this question. Alex, I want to know yours because you're very new to the Machinima scene.
Haven't you
am.
only seen Brotherhood War?
No, I've seen all of yours in the Spartan Legacy.
Right.
But I haven't seen anything outside of that.
I told you to watch Red versus Blue, man.
To be fair, that's a lot.
School.
So do I.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I have school, and I just, for the first time, I know I'm behind.
It's on Netflix.
For the first time, binge watch all of Clone Wars and all of Rebels. So.
Ooh, Rebels is so good. No, that's off topic.
Is.
Shut up.
But I mean, all of yours are really, really well done. Like starting from what was the first Generations, right?
Generation,
First one?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
starting from-
fucking Generation, guys. Spartans Generation, not Spartans Generations, not Spartan Generations. It's Spartans Generation. It's the last time I'm saying it.
Oh, you said it wrong.
Generations.
You just said it wrong.
You said it plurally.
You
Did
said
I?
generations just
No, I
now.
didn't. Oh, God.
You did.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to forgive everything now. So forgiven.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, does this mean we can call you Chronicler 117 now?
No, you cannot call me that. That is not my name.
Chat, you know what to do.
Oh, God.
This is why you don't open those can of worms there, bud.
I
But,
had the number since before I knew what Halo was. It's not my fault.
Could just
Sure.
change it to Chronicler 42069.
There you go.
69.
Hey, Riley, I got high for the first time last week.
Oh,
I had
how'd
an
that go?
edible, and it
Oh.
fucked me up.
Okay,
You know, I
so
was
we're
a-
talking about machinimas here. Oh, by the way,
I was a prude in high school, so I imagined Riley would find that really funny.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
I want to be there next time.
Next
that
time
sounds
I'll let you know.
really
Okay, anyway,
fucking
let's
funny.
get back on topic because we're reaching the second hour here.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. That's
Yeah.
the greatest answer. That was not even a question.
But they're all really well done. But I think the one that to this day is still like that I still like the most is Brotherhood War, just because
Yeah.
there's so much in it,
Yeah.
and it introduces so many new things to just the overall legacy. It's
Mhm.
it's really, really cool.
Well, and brings back a lot of the old too. Like
It
people
does,
are
it
really
does.
happy to see Logan come back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I obviously didn't get that experience the first time I watched
Well,
it,
yeah.
but as I recently rewatched it, 2 weeks ago, I was like, oh wow, yeah, it's really cool to see all these returning characters.
All right, next question. Are we doing a
On the-
chat or are we doing one of your questions?
I'll do one of mine.
Okay.
There's a shorter one I have for Lego Yoda, but not Lego Yoda, Master Lions. I'm sorry. My cheeks hurt from laughing too much. But this one's for Tatsu and Obi. So this one isn't on Brotherhood War. This is on Final Farewell, actually. So for those who don't know, before we had Brotherhood War, we had Judgment and Final Farewell. Judgment was good. I personally preferred Final Farewell. Argue amongst yourselves, it doesn't matter to me. Where we see Braxton and Scott sort of having a toast almost to the decommissioning of the Heart of Defiance. What do you think made that that moment in time so important for both of those characters who fought together from the second invasion of Earth all the way to the Hyborian uprising, or whatever you want to call it? I put that in my
Actually,
notes.
that's not a bad name for it because I haven't officially titled this age yet. So, yeah,
Hell
we'll,
yeah.
we'll call it the Hyborian uprising. Sure, I'll have
Yeah,
to think
just-
on it before I make it official, but we'll call it that for
Go
now.
Yeah, so how do you guys think that? What made that important, you think, to those two characters?
Tatsu, I'll let you start it off if you have something.
not right off the top. But go ahead.
I was like, well, me personally, it's just the two characters are finally getting time to wind down, and they fully come to realization that this is the end of an era. They're decommissioning the Heart of Defiance. Braxton's got his flying forward. and
Guys,
it's like,
What's up?
what's
I,
up?
hey, I gotta go right now. I gotta go
Oh.
do something. Okay, so I'm
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
but I wish I could.
Sorry,
I could talk
Dragoon.
more, but I gotta go. Okay.
No, it's
Dude,
all good.
take
Hey,
care,
thanks
dude.
for making it, Dragoon.
Thanks for
It's great to
making
have
it.
you.
Later, skater.
You're welcome. Okay,
We'll
I
see you
gotta
on the
go
server,
right
buddy.
All right, see you, dude.
now. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Right.
Yeah, and just the fact that the torch is being passed to the next generation. We got the Spartan 5 program coming in. We got all these different things. But I was like, these two are the last, they were the last participants in Omega Halo. It was just having that time wind down and seeing the ship that got them through hell and back. It's just I can't remember the word for it. I had it onto my tongue.
It's
A
kind
couple
of
of-
nostalgic,
That's one, yeah.
but it's bittersweet.
Mm-hmm. It's like just all that history just being ripped apart for scrap and getting repurposed.
Which, we're at that point now where the Spartan Legacy has that kind of history to feel nostalgic about, which in and of itself, I'd say is an accomplishment. But you two, so you're here now, he's here now. You two managed to convey that very well.
I will have to say that I'll take the compliment, yes. But I haven't had a chance to watch everything from Omega Halo.
Lag spike.
So, sorry. Well, so I haven't had a chance to watch everything from Omega Halo through Final Farewell yet. I haven't watched that. There's a whole block of time I'm missing.
Yeah, that's the block of time that sucks the most, so that's all right.
So, but even still, sucks or not, it's time that's missing that I don't have. So the only thing that I can really think about is like saying goodbye to a car that you've had, like your first car when you got your license, and you've had it all through like the end of high school, it went through college, it went through like you getting your first house, driving across country, and now you've gotten into a bad accident and you have to junk it.
Yep. I've been there.
It's not a person, but it's like a piece of you is.
Yeah, well, so my personal experience, and this is probably another lag spike. Okay. My personal experience with it, I inherited a van, and this big blue van, and I drove it for my first job, which was delivering pizzas. And for about 3/4 of a year or so, this van got me all over town, fucking, with all these pizzas to so many different people, through rain, through snow, all kinds of shitty weather. And then one day I'm on my way to deliver a pizza and her transmission craps out. It was unsalvageable, and it was hard to see it go because I felt like it carried me through these snowstorms and through these, through all this time. It sucked seeing it go.
And it delivered bread with sauce and cheese.
It really did, and it fucking smelled like pizza 24/7, but I loved it.
Well, yeah, as far as being the important part of it, it's just both of them were on it. They've been through hell like Tristan said, they've been through hell, and a piece of them is now going to be gone forever. There's like a piece of your soul is gone.
Yeah.
There is no getting it back.
I mean, for them, it'd probably be kind of like losing a team member because, if to carry on the car analogy, the Heart of Defiance got them through the horrors of Omega Halo, and then through the Antioch skirmishes, and presumably the Ortega Rebellion, if it was being used then. So to see that go at that point probably sucks.
It's like, not to mention is that there's going to be, like, as far as I'm aware, there's no monument for the original Spartan team. There's no monument for them. It's all probably all under black ink. So it's like the Heart of Defiance was their last physical piece of evidence that happened.
Yeah, that's true.
We were there.
I mean, aside from, at that point, I guess Catherine was dead. Yeah, Catherine was dead.
Yeah, Catherine died.
Yeah.
Very, very dead.
Yep.
Yeah, and on top of which, the ship may be gone. It's part of them is gone, but also like literal pieces of them are gone. Maybe they got injured at the consoles or running through the halls or bled on the floors or something like that. Or, heck, that one time they got drunk and puked up in the head or something.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
There are pieces of them on that ship that now that the memories, the physical being essence of that place is now gone.
Yeah, you can get a new ship, but it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah. And even still, like, again, if it was even Braxton, if you put him back at like what kind of console was he at the Omega Halo, whatever console he was at.
Yeah.
It will
The
never have
exposition
that
console.
little quirk where like Yeah, it will never have that little quirk where like this button doesn't work the same way in a brand new ship or something like that. You have to do a certain thing on the screen or something. It will never again have that quirk.
You won't have the quirk of you screaming, firing as you push a button.
You know, I bet that button never worked properly again after he hit it that
Probably
hard.
not.
Yeah.
Last little piece on this, I always imagined that line, like maybe the cannon went offline, you had to send him into like the actual cannon itself and get him with like a gravity hammer to get the cannon to go off. Boom!
He had to unjam the missile battery.
Yeah.
Switching to manual control.
All right, let's have another question. Are we doing a chat question now? I feel like it's been a while since we've done a chat question.
We can do a chat question. I've got one for you if you want one from Clumsy.
All right, let's hit it.
Why do you hate ship commanders so much? Gray, Riopel, Braxton, etc.
It's a fucking pattern, isn't it?
It really is.
I have no fucking defense. Oh my god. You're putting me on the spot here, Clumsy. Jesus.
You heard it here first, guys. Kron hates ship commanders.
I know, I don't hate ship commanders. It's just...
What you don't realize is that he had a very bad experience going fishing, and his father left him in charge of the boat, and he plowed it straight, and I mean straight, into the dock, coming back, and they lost all the fish, and his father beat him so hard, he saw his own birth.
That was beautiful, Tats. Thank you. Also, implying that I ever went fishing is really fucking funny. Fishing and golfing is right up there for the most boring shit I've ever heard of.
Fishing is great, and I've played a lot of golf and don't have a defense for that.
Yeah. No, God, I think the story just keeps requiring it for some reason, and I don't have a reason why. So we're going to press the skip button on that question. Let's hit another chat question.
All right, this
Star
one's...
Trek. This isn't about the ship. It's about the ground crew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Clumsy, for that amazing question. This is a really old one for Ren that I've been sort of holding on to just in case we needed a little break from some stuff. But Alex, what brought you to the Legacy, and how did you land the role of Galloway?
It was through you.
Yeah.
We met my junior year,
Sci-fi
your
class.
senior year of high
What a
school.
great class.
I had a
You
Halo
did
4 shirt
sci-fi
on. You
class?
complimented it. Yeah, it was an English class. It was so much fun.
Oh
It was
my God.
sick.
We never got
yeah,
anything like that at Carroll, did we?
I had it in college.
Closest we got was the War and Peace class where we just watched war movies and talked about them.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, I had a Halo 4 shirt on. Cole complimented it, and we struck up a conversation. And I think we had
And you've
maybe
been
one or
dating
two.
ever since.
Basically.
The Fire Nation attacked.
I mean, look at these guys' beautiful beards. Yeah, they'd be fine dating.
Yeah, Alex, your beard's getting great.
Thank you. I grew it out since I moved. So, but yeah, I think we played Halo together once or twice, and then you added me to Chronicler's server, and I became sort of interested in the whole idea of machinimas, and to the point where eventually
Lag spike.
to deal with voice acting, I always had fun like just impersonating various characters just as I grew up, and I would just do it around the house, sometimes around friends, mostly in front of my mom to annoy her, and I think it just got the interest in voice acting, and I can't remember if you contacted Kron or I did.
It was okay. I can tell you what happened. I'm pretty sure this is what happened. Winners said, "Hey, I got a guy who wants to do some voice acting for you. He's got a demo reel." So I said, "Okay, let's have it," because my inbox is always open for demo reels. And I get it, and I look at the title, and I go, "Who the fuck is Thick Boy Thanos?" Because that's the name you were going by at the time before you were Lego Yoda and before you were Master Lions.
Iconic.
And I'm like, so first impressions professionally are a big deal with me. So I did not honestly expect a lot from a guy calling himself Thick Boy Thanos. And then I opened the file, and you had the best Gravemind impression I have ever heard, and still fucking
let's hear
impresses
it.
me to this day. I mean, holy fucking shit, dude.
Thank you.
And I was like, okay, so we are like 6 out of 10 into production here, and I don't have a whole lot of characters left for you, but you can have Galloway, and that's where we are.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm back.
Hey, he's back. Welcome
He's
back.
back. Yeah. I think I dragged you into it because you also were doing your Master Chief impression for me one day.
I did the sequence where Master Chief and Arbiter meet Gravemind.
Can we
Yeah.
hear your Master Chief impression real quick? Because the Gravemind
Well, I
impression
haven't-
requires editing, but you can do Chief.
No, it doesn't. That's actually the thing.
I
It
can
does
do
not
Gravemind right now.
Okay,
He can
do
do
it
it on his own.
Gravemind.
That's gonna. I haven't. Can I mute a little bit, just so I can like warm up?
Yeah, I'll ask another question and
Okay.
let me know when he can warm up. So this is from Simon. Hey Tatsu, how on earth do you make your voice so high?
He chops his balls off.
Okay, so how we do this is no, anyways, I guess my voice is already just kind of high itself. So really just kind of practice, just trying to get it up into the higher notes really of my voice range. So there's really no formula to it. It's kind of
It's
happens.
natural.
Yeah. So, I mean, the highest one that I ever did was for an audition of a little tiny cutesy character in this. It was a fan dub for an anime, but
Of course it was.
yeah, but it was actually really hard, at least that particular note, because there was a couple notes. It was right up toward the top of my range, and there was a couple notes of the speech where I had to go even higher than that. So it was like, oh, I can't go much higher.
I can hear your veins bulging in your throat when you
Yeah.
do that. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, so I mean, if I do a proper warm up, I can get a little bit higher, but there is noob voice is about my comfortable limit.
Yeah. Well, and there's something to be said for being able to do that without just talking into Audacity and then raising the pitch up like I do. So, that's pretty good talent. I used to be able to do something like that before my balls dropped. And the
Yeah, I can just imagine.
now is a guy who's he's hitting puberty, and
God.
he's like,
I can just-
holy shit, guys!
I can just imagine Kron. He's gonna be like in the recording booth when he's up way up here, and then suddenly
He's way down.
I've never heard you do the low end before. That's awesome.
I'm trying to catch a Tatsu. I'm like learning that my voice can go higher than I think it should not be allowed to.
yeah, that's one of the things that was me. It's like, okay, I can go this high. Oh, I can go this high. Oh wow. And sometimes if I haven't drunk enough water, it helps. It doesn't do very well either.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can go higher than you think.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch you. I just recently discovered I can do a Doofenshmirtz impression just out of doing it a racist Italian accent. Just clicked and boom, there it was.
Let us go to the Olive Garden. It's like eating in the dining room of an offensive Italian stereotype. Okay,
guess,
I think Alex is ready to go.
You
All
ready?
right, go ahead.
It's not going to be as good. I haven't had enough water. My voice is a little bit. It doesn't have as much fluids in it as it
Yeah,
should.
go
but
for it, because then
I'll do
I'm
my
gonna
best.
talk. Because then I want to talk on it.
Silence fills.
Get closer. Can't hear you.
Okay.
There we go.
I am a monument to all your sins.
Oh, it's like D. Baker's right here with us. Oh my god.
Do the now I will talk and you will listen line.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
Silence fills the empty grave now that I have gone. that my mind is not at rest, for questions linger on. I will ask, and you will answer.
Oh my god.
Wait, Karan, I have a question for you. Did you think the first time you heard that Gravemind impression that it was edited?
Yes!
It was not.
I
That
thought that was
right
the only
there.
way you could do it.
Oh my
No,
God.
that right there is like, I shit you not. He did that for me, and it scared me out of my seat. So I was like, "What the shit?" More so than when you unzipped your pants in my ear.
Hey,
But
what?
don't worry about
What?
it.
Dude, my mind is fucking blown right now. Holy shit. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was natural.
That was natural. We did. I remember you and I did a take where I did edit your voice and did two voice line like things in Audacity. It sounded better, but like, no, he can do that on his own.
That's fucking insane, dude. Holy
That
shit.
is fucking
Thank you,
crazy.
thank you.
And this is
Have a great conversation between the Gravemind and your biker on guy.
Really don't you?
Yeah, see, I can do the mind, but it requires extensive editing in Audacity. I can't do it naturally because I can't get my voice that low naturally. That you can do that naturally. Oh my fucking god, dude!
There are
I
some
feel
days
like,
where it's better than others.
I
But yeah.
feel like I have this Yu-Gi-Oh deck, and every time I meet somebody like you, I keep adding these new awesome cards into my collection. It's so cool. It's so
No,
cool.
play this card.
Now watch, he's gonna go up against like Rooster Teeth and say, "Here's my deck. You're going to die."
Oh my god. So, I don't talk about it much, but I did join a local Yu-Gi-Oh tournament back in like 2015. I thought I was shit. I wasn't. Got my ass kicked in the first round. I left with my head down.
Oh,
But anyway. Okay, so let's do some questions. Where should we do a chat question or should we do an us question?
I've got one for someone that we have not heard enough from. Nick, you have an interesting character in Anthony,
Yeah.
who was a civilian, which, to my knowledge, is not a common perspective we get to see in the entire Spartan Legacy series. Sure, we have them here and there, especially in the Reach anthologies, but you don't really see it that often. And you have the unfortunate fate of being hauled off by the Spartans. I want to know what it's like portraying Anthony in a world turned upside down.
I gotta say, it's probably, I'm maybe biased, but their little side story is probably my favorite part of Brotherhood War. Like I was saying earlier, it's the slower moments, but I do like having the fresh perspective of civilians, because whenever you watch like Red versus Blue or you watch a lot of the other machinima that there are, it's always the big badass Spartan. You don't really get to see civilians. Even like Red versus Blue, they had like a different planet where they were like half civilians, half not. I forget which season that was.
That was 11 through 13. That was Chorus.
Yeah, all of them on Chorus were like, they seem like it was like a fresh perspective, but they're not really civilians. So I just like, I'd almost made like a really weird comparison, but like being dragged out of your home, being forced and like conscripted. I think that was a fantastic move, and it got me. Like I said, I didn't read it because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. How
But
selfish.
it's funny that you say you enjoy being a civilian instead of a Spartan so much, because you're a Spartan now, boy.
Oh, that's true. That's
Lag spike.
I like it. But yeah, when I read the script, I was like, "Ooh, I'm just in this for a little bit. It's gonna be cool."
Dude, I remember. Oh my god, bait and switch. I remember Ren watching the first episode of Aftermath, and he says in his comment, "I can't wait to see where the character of Anthony will go." And I went,
Yeah. Yeah.
And then people are going, "Oh man, I can't wait to see how Carla makes it out of this." And I went, and then Simon, poor Simon said, "Oh, I love Corporal Knight so much. I can't wait to see him more." And
I want to point out that Ren put in the chat, so I thought he would be a major character. Then
no. Oh Lord, yeah. See, I wish Floral could have been here, man.
I'm glad you didn't write him off as like.
Oh.
Floral
that's-
Ninja Chan voiced Carla. I wish she could have been here to offer her perspective as Carla, because I love Carla's arc because it's dual purpose. It shows the civilian life in Seattle, but more importantly, it sets up for the awful shit that Fireteam Corsair has to do under the Lifebringer. But it's such a fucking bait and switch. They all got killed so quickly, and I haven't done anything like that since the last war. I don't think anybody saw it coming.
Wipe them out, all of them.
That's what I have to say about that.
Anthony's going to have some choice words for Corsair if they run into one another without the mind control.
I wonder what kind of shit the Lifebringer's got Anthony doing. Cole just dipped out. Hold on, he was in the waiting room. I'm letting him back in.
Did you disconnect?
What the hell?
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay. All right, next
I
question.
need to get going.
All right.
Oh wait, Riley's
I'm
gotta
gonna-
go.
Yeah, I am about to fall the fuck asleep because I was up way too fucking late last
Okay. Well, hey, it was awesome to have you here, man. Wouldn't
It's
have
great
been the
to see
same
ya.
without you.
Yeah. All right, yeah. See you guys later.
See ya.
Later.
Later.
See you on the server. Dora, we're almost at a. We're almost.
Yeah, we
also-
should probably start wrapping up because we're through
Yeah.
the 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's fast. The nice thing is that like, a couple of them are like double questions for people who didn't show up. So I'm like, oh, sweet, he's gonna strike off a bunch of those. But this one is another one for Kron.
Okay.
In Aftermath, we get a glimpse of Forerunner society that I haven't seen many machinimas that I've seen even look at. Is that indicative of something to come, and/or will we see more flashbacks before the fall?
I doubt it. I currently don't have any plans for anything like that. But if I had to do it again, I would feel very well equipped to do so. Because after, with Halo 4 and the Forerunner trilogy of books by Greg Bear coming out, we have extensive amounts of information on Forerunner society, how things worked, what their naming conventions were like, all that sort of shit. And it's really interesting. So, if I have to do it again, I think it'd be very interesting, but currently I don't have any plans to, no.
And I can confirm with that. I haven't really come up with ideas for Forerunner related stuff and all that. Though I will say the trial bit was actually something that I originally considered for a separate short, similar to Judgment and Final Farewell. Like, it was going to be its own thing, but then we decided it was best to just integrate it into the story instead and all that.
Yeah. Did you pose that idea to me and I worked it into the Aftermath script, or did I just come up with that?
Yeah, I did, because I just thought like it would be interesting to kind of maybe show how the Lifebringer, what was she like, what was the convictions of, like, what is she actually fighting for and all that, like kind of a little background, because when we first saw her in Lifebringer and stuff, it was almost similar to a Didact situation, obviously.
Which the Lifebringer is obviously very similar to the Didact.
Didact, yeah, shares the same views, of course.
Which, people will say, oh, chronically, you just ripped off the Didact, which no one's actually said that to me yet, but I imagine somebody must have thought it. But now that the Didact is pretty much fucking gone from Halo canon, I guess this is the way I would have done it if I had control over post-Halo 4 content. So you can just consider it that.
Yeah. Or also the fact is, this is an alternate version of Halo and stuff where different things happen.
Yeah.
So maybe like the same things that we've seen before in the actual Halo can happen again.
That's some Battlestar Galactica shit. All of this has happened before and it will all happen again. Yeah.
In a different format. Yeah. So.
Also, something I want to bring up while we're talking about the trial that I completely fucking skipped over in the looking back for Aftermath because I'm an idiot. Alyssa, on the spot, had the idea to do a different voice for the Lifebringer. You can tell she sounds a little less, I don't know, evil, I guess. A little less
I would say
jaded.
Younger,
yeah. Younger, and that was all her. I didn't even intend for that. Yeah, good job, Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More golf claps for her.
Yeah. All right, let's do another question.
All right. another one. This is another one for Tatsu. You voiced many characters throughout this series, but Manias was the first one, maybe outside of Braxton, who has a major role to play. In parentheses, I wrote that I can remember. Shout out, my sleeping meds are kicking in.
No,
What was it like?
Whoa.
What was it like playing a character that, in effect, like didn't exist? If that makes sense. Like you were there, but you also weren't.
Yeah, I kind of.
If you need a sec. Oh.
Well, I'm trying to come up with think
No.
about it. So
No, there's a follow up with that. Is like, as well as voicing Manias, if you just want to talk about both these characters, what was it like giving Braxton his final salute, i.e., riddled with bullets?
well, for we'll start with Manias. I kind of pictured it at first going on through it. The first few lines, it was just that was the voice. That was the voice I had to work with. That was going to be Manias. Okay, great. But as it went through, again, this kind of dips into headcanon territory a little bit, but it made me think of when Lifebringer brought up this hologram. Not only did it change her picture, but it also changed her voice. Maybe this is a voice she has heard in the past somewhere. Maybe from like her days in the
In like the Cryptum or on Cradle?
No, the Forerunners, just back in the Forerunner days. It was
Yeah.
a voice she had heard somewhere. Or
You think the Scots were around then?
well, even still though, take a look at even from the Halo series itself, the Warden Eternal. He has an English accent.
This is true.
Where the heck did he get that from?
I have a question. Why are we all speaking in British accents? We're in outer space and there's no reason.
Yeah.
Even Didact was speaking and had a bit of
Yeah,
English accent.
Didact, Librarian. Most of the Forerunners that were in Halo had an English accent.
It's
So
really cool.
it's
The
I don't
Brits,
think
they beat us to space to colonize it.
I wouldn't I wouldn't think it would be out of the question that maybe Lifebringer had heard a similar voice in her time, back during her days as a Forerunner.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly a viable theory. Yeah.
So, which actually I have a message I'm going to send you later on something just
Okay.
just out of the on my head.
Sure. Yeah, hit me up.
But as far as Braxton goes, it was the first thought was like, well, crap, here I'm going to die again.
I fucking hated doing it, man. I hated doing it, but I had to.
It's fine. But and even after that,
Lag spike.
I'd hold. Oh, even though he had been like turned into a freaking piece of Swiss cheese or a sponge, maybe that last little bit of his soldier persona is just hanging on, not letting him die, and he has to get out one final, hey, this is shit's going sideways message. And this is just all head stuff that
For
I
the
see.
little good that it could have done.
For whatever little good it could have
Yeah.
done, he doesn't. All he knows, Spartan's turning on me. I am getting shot.
Yeah.
That's all he really knows right there at that point. So if whatever help he can give, for whatever little good or great good it does, he doesn't know. It's like one last little message, and he dies in the message.
I think my favorite thing that you've mentioned, Tats, is the idea that he had an AI companion, Vivian, right?
I don't think that was me.
No, that was Ren. That was Ren. That's right. Yeah.
That was Ren.
That was Ren.
It wasn't me.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why I thought shit.
So
Guys, I hate to cut you off here, but I gotta go.
Oh, not Feather
okay.
too. Okay, yeah, I know you have only a slot of time available. Thanks for coming, Feather. I really
It's dinner
appreciate
time.
it. Yeah.
Later, Feather.
Yeah, it's
Bye-bye.
good to have you.
Bye.
Same with Feather. I gotta run because
Okay.
my music room rental has
it's not done.
expired.
All right.
So
Thanks for
Okay.
coming, man.
Okay, well,
thanks.
Alex,
super fun.
get your ass back down here. I miss you.
Will do. I'm
Right.
here. I'm there from Thanksgiving till like mid-January, so we will see each other.
Hell yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Crowder.
See you, man. Good to have you.
You too.
All right, let's do.
So you-
Do we have any chat questions we need to
I
cover?
haven't seen any.
Just to wrap up my
Yeah,
answer
sorry,
really quick.
go ahead.
No, go.
On both the characters, Manias, it was just trying to be something that would be most impactful. With Braxton, since I knew I was going to die, I just, again, the same thing. Wanted to give it the biggest impact as possible that, hey, bye.
Which is good. It's nice to have a send-off.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we wrap up, any chat questions we need to get through?
I haven't. This went through. I didn't see any. One of the ones that I did see was from Ren, and it was asking if he can have my job, which we've already. Yeah, that's what I thought. Sorry, Ren. Otherwise, it's really just been like a lot of theorizing.
Actually, maybe I should hold it. Maybe I should hold a number 2 Hunger Games and see who can actually get out a side mission first. I'm just kidding, man. I'm fucking with you.
I know you are, and I love you for it, but still,
Yeah, I deserve that.
I didn't see anything, but I have the last 2, and then because I'll just skip over a couple of the ones because they're all group questions.
Yeah.
Or whatever, and we're loot.
Right.
And it's late.
We've lost.
So for everyone, except for Kron and Mega in this case.
So
What?
the other 3.
The other four,
Okay.
you son of a gun. I exist, damn it.
Yeah, but you're asking the question.
I can still answer.
Okay, fine, go.
Yeah,
So with Brotherhood War and Brotherhood War Aftermath behind this chat, if you want to answer this too in the chat box, feel more than free to do so. It's time to start looking to the future. What do you expect to see from the recently announced Hyborian? This is for Tatsu, Obi, Nick, and I. Don't worry, you two are going to get your own question in a hot second.
Alright.
Knowing Chronicler, he's going to kill off Denver.
You heard it here, folks.
Somebody tell Feather she's going to be out of a job real fast.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a good thing she and that wedge did.
Look at his face. Look at his
No,
face.
I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. You all
We're not saying
Yeah.
shit.
See, I know what you guys expect me to do, and I know when to either follow through with that or counteract it. So
Yeah,
you'll just have to wait and see.
We're not saying anything.
So we got Tatsu saying Denver's going to die. I just want to say I have Ren saying a character Tats plays will actually survive. Obi, let's head to you next.
I'm hoping Scott lives. That's really all I want. Scott to live.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Nick, what do you hope to see considering the senator is dead
Yeah.
and Anthony is a clone
Yeah.
trooper?
I was about to say probably something with Anthony. I don't know, something.
Anthony
maybe
will
he'll
come
be
back.
cool. Maybe he'll be
We'll
cool.
see him
Maybe
again.
he'll just have like a little
I'll confirm that. Who's Jackson? Oh, hey, it's Block.
bit part. I don't know. Yeah.
I love
What?
what?
It's Block.
No, Block made it in at the end. Come on! I have questions.
Are you
Block.
fucking kidding me?
I want to apologize. I've been sick for the last 24 hours, and I was passed out for the whole time.
It's all right. Hey, I'm just glad you made it in at all, man.
Yeah.
I am so sorry.
It's okay. Welcome.
But
Welcome
I'm
to the
here
stream.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, son of God, you have Lions left. I had a question. Ah, son of a bitch.
Well,
It's okay. We can do some questions for him. We got
Yeah.
time.
Well,
I
I
got
got sad.
time,
It's
right?
like,
Alright.
I'm here now.
Well, so the question we're answering right now is what do for everybody except for Kron and Meg is what do we expect to see from Hyborian? And I guess you and your sick ass are up.
What do I expect to see, eh?
Oh.
Death.
So we've got
lots of death.
we've got Denver dying, Obi hopefully living,
and
I
I don't know really what's gonna happen like for the audience and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
just
neither
a
do
heads
I.
up. Personally, I think Zack's gonna die. I think he's gonna sacrifice himself for something. I don't know what it's gonna be. I don't know why, but I think he's gonna die.
I feel like you and Tatsu should place a bet for whether or not Zack or Denver die.
Wildcard bet they're both gonna die.
And I'm looking that face, Kron, and it's you got
don't
that poker face.
Don't hurt my soul.
So I see the recap. We have Denver dying, Obi living, Anthony, and I quote, becoming cool.
I mean, he's very tender. He's very tender.
Yeah.
Ren has a question for Block too, if we can work that in.
Oh, we will work that in.
Okay.
Let's wrap it up. We have Zack dying. I'm gonna go a bit more positive with it. We'll definitely see. I think actually we'll see. I think we'll see Logan die. If we're gonna talk about characters.
That's positive.
Like I think Zack. Zack and Denver. Probably. I don't know. You're an evil human being, possibly. You don't know, but I feel like it'd be huge for Zack. I feel like to lose Logan, like Phoenix leader, like the last, and like we lose another one of those ties to reach. So I think Logan will die. It'll be a huge impact moment for Zack as a character.
That's interesting.
So
losing another legacy character like that would be pretty hard on him.
If you really want to go for the throat, you kill him and Obi in the same episode. So Block, we have a question for you from Ren. How did you make it into the Spartan Legacy, and how did you land the role of Hadley? By the way, love you as the main lead in Wasteland.
How I landed the role is simple. It's just I've been friends with Jacob for years now. I was a fan just like all of you, and then I eventually did stuff for Isaiah with Butt Buddies, and then Jacob noticed that and we reconnected.
Yeah, I touched on that earlier.
And we and he just started giving me roles, and then eventually it led to me getting Hadley. I might be able to pull up like how that went about. I believe you approached me like just right off, just saying I have this stuff planned for the Spartan Legacy, and would you like to be a part of this team here? Like I have a role perfect for you. And
well, I can tell you your performance as Windows led straight into you getting cast as Hadley. I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah, the scream.
That was very impressive. And hey, got a bit of love for you in Wasteland too.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have a lot more time on my hands now, so we're gonna see if I can start recording more for that. We're gonna try and get that out to you guys.
Are we picking it back up? Okay, yeah, I guess I still have the footage. I guess we'll have to see how that works out, yeah.
Yeah. I think Simon is saying, Dear Block, just want you to know I loved your performance as the Shipmaster's honor guard, which you did nail, and that you nailed his defiance perfectly.
Yeah, that was fucking badass.
Man, Block shows up for 5 minutes, and you're getting more love than I am from Ren.
You were a very loyal honor guard to me.
Yeah, well, I love the fact that you fans even just notice the small characters like being voiced by us here. That means a lot. It's very appreciated. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
That means the world. That always makes my day.
It is definitely really cool to see that, and like see how many, even in Omega Halo, to see how many of you guys go from these minor roles to these major roles. Well, I can't read it. What does it say?
Windows crashed.
So, hey, Alex is in the chat now. Hey, buddy. I've got a question. This was originally for Block and Lions, but I'm gonna expand this to Block and Obi. And Alex, if you want to answer in the text chat, go for it. You guys got to play a new generation of Spartans with their own unique traits, abilities. Hadley having the asshole ability. What was it like playing new Spartans compared to how they were portrayed in Omega Halo and Generations?
Ability, asshole, activate.
That's fine.
Activate. If anyone knows where that's from.
I was talking about Arby and the Chief earlier. Lag spike.
I think when after you see these heroes, now you're portraying. How do you think that is different than Omega Halo and Generations?
Generation.
That's definitely of my generation cockiness. Like it's definitely because they think they're all the hot shit because they don't. For one, I doubt any of them have met a Spartan aside from Zack. Like especially from the old generation.
There wouldn't really be any to meet.
Yeah. So they don't have an example. So they just think they're as hot shit as the old ones were. And they're literal legends who have saved the planet multiple times. One of them went on to fucking save the galaxy.
Yeah.
one of them. Who am I saying? Fucking like 3 of them. Like at this point, like I believe in the Spartan legacy. If we're talking like Master Chief, still
Chief,
um,
Saul, and then
both
Catherine.
of yeah, Saul and Catherine. Like, and now I guess Zack too. So that's
Yeah.
4.
Zack's working on it.
And he already has a pretty good reputation, like in general. Like
Yeah.
these are legends, and they haven't been able to meet them to compare themselves to the past generation. So they just think, oh yeah, we're just as hot shit as them. So obviously they're gonna be a bit cocky, like.
Yeah, it's like Scott's definitely not like that because
he's the only one that actually. Scott's the only one who's met.
Yeah,
Scott's the only one who's
He's
met.
one of the only ones that's actually met multiple Spartans.
Mhm.
And
lived. Yeah,
and lived.
That's a big one.
And
Jacob's
Logan
series,
as
that's
well.
rare.
right? Yeah, so like I
Lag spike.
oh shit. It's like I definitely see Scott as trying, especially with Hadley and whatnot, is like trying to temper that cockiness. Like, hey, we're Spartans, yes, but we have a job to do.
And the thing that I kind of how I played Hadley, I don't know if this is Jacob's interpretation of it, but I kind of played it off as Hadley's a very angry person, and has a lot of pent up problems, let's say, and he plays it off as, in a, by joking around, by like kind of like if you guys have ever seen Breaking Bad with Hank, how Hank like plays off stuff like by being all cocky and trying to, be fun with people and, try to be a people person. When in reality, on the inside, they're a very deep-seated anger and problems.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You really see, especially my favorite scene that I played with Hadley was the scene where he kills the hospital.
Where he commits a war crime?
Yeah, where he commits a war crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite scene playing as Hadley, because I feel like I definitely played it a bit disturbed. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was better.
It was coming from a perspective of a soldier who's extremely cocky in his abilities, is 100% sure that he's in the right, and has no respect for his enemy, and that's how you get this kind of bullshit that happens. So yeah, you pulled that off very well.
I'd like to hope so.
Yeah,
I'd like to hope so.
Yeah, considering how many people love you as Hadley, the lovable-ish asshole, I'd say you played it off pretty well.
The lovable asshole.
How do you? Okay. Question: how do you think? And this goes for you two Spartans. How do you think if they manage to live through this somehow, and they manage to get their minds back, how do you think this is going to affect them? Having their freedom stripped away and being used as a tool of the enemy and committing absolute atrocities.
I think it depends on like what character.
So yours,
like mine. For Hadley, I think, weirdly enough, I think deep down he's actually gonna enjoy it to a certain extent. I think that part of him is gonna be like, of course, like disturbed with himself more so than anything else, that he actually enjoyed part of it.
That's a dark as fuck take that I hadn't really considered.
Wow.
I saw I saw where that was going a mile away.
It kind of makes sense in a way. It's like,
I mean,
wow,
out of all the
I
Spartans
enjoyed
we've
it
seen
so
out of the
much.
new generation, Hadley is the closest to being an authoritarian. I'm just saying.
I don't know if I'd go that far with him, but it's definitely an interesting perspective. I hadn't considered it before.
Yeah.
Well, it's something that I've always had in the back of my mind, but I was going like, I'm not entirely sure. But now that you brought it up, it's like, oh, yeah, you're right, and all that.
I think it would humble him. I think
that's a good perspective.
Yeah, I think he'd grow a lot from that experience because I think he'd lose that cockiness. This is, of course, assuming any of them live, so let's not talk about that anymore.
there are some interesting as a historian, like there are some interesting historical through lines where like you can see that sort of story play out, where you go from this like traumatic event, and then you become what you think is going to be helping people, but you end up doing worse. So I'd be interested to see if that plays out, assuming they don't get shot in the head, shot anywhere, blown up, stabbed, shanked, or cut to bits.
Yeah.
And then did we, for that, before you go on that question, Obi, did we get your answer on that?
It's like, it's probably definitely going to be a very traumatic experience for Scott because, I mean, as we've seen in Aftermath, he and Corsair just committed a very grave war crime there. It's like, we're flying in the face of everything we thought we were standing up for. We were supposed to be humanity's protectors. Like, it was Carla that said that.
Yeah, Carla said that.
It's like, we were supposed to be humanity's protectors. We were supposed to be that line of defense. And we turned against them. We failed humanity. And so it's like, if we do survive out of this, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Scott decides, you know what, I just can't take this anymore.
I'm curious, like especially when it comes to a character like Scott, because I have a feeling that the civilian population, they will never trust the Spartans ever again. They won't. It's just not going to happen.
If the Spartans don't have to all be wiped out, of course.
Of course.
I feel that Scott would weather it the best. Not to say that it wouldn't affect him, it would, but I think he would deal with it the best because he is by far the eldest member of Corsair, and he's been through a lot more shit than the rest of them have. I think it would still fuck him up, though.
Oh, yeah.
It would still fuck him up, but like I do think he could deal with it better. I mean, he's seen the second glassing of Africa. He's seen the flood on Halo. He's seen all these other revolt. He's seen combat. Like he's seen actual things and probably has seen some terrible things being done. I mean, the flood exists. So I do agree. I think he could definitely weather it better, but there's a difference between having to fight the flood and having to shoot civilians. There's a huge difference between that.
There's a difference
I know in the chat.
There's a difference between having to fight the flood and then watching yourself from a third-person perspective kill civilians and not being able to do anything about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And this might be my darker side coming out, but personally, I hope we do see kind of like a scene where one of the Spartans like breaks down, like mentally.
I think I know who that would be.
And then we see maybe like then we see maybe him as the leader of Corsair, like kind of you see a bit of it slip as well, but you see, he's also suffering inside as well, but he's, able to kind of hold it in, and he's the one that's kind of holding the glue together, so to speak, for the team.
Yeah, I can already think of
if I can do this, if I can go through all this shit,
yeah.
Come out okay.
You gotta put on that brave front.
What's your excuse, soldier?
Yeah, exactly.
Get your ass in gear.
I can definitely see which Spartan that would be. I'm not going to say the name.
Past is in the past,
but
we have to move on.
Yeah, the Spartan I can see that happening to is the one that I ended up body acting the most.
Yeah,
I think Ron knows exactly.
For it. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, as I said, I had bad pack luck. I will say, Alex, he answered this in the chat box. He said his response was similar to Hawkeye and Avengers after being mind controlled by Loki.
Ronan, yeah.
Which I think, well, that's not Ronan. This is the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, when he gets mind control.
Sorry, I just watched Endgame like last week, and it was like.
No, you're good. But like that's an interesting response. I don't fully remember how that went. It's been a while since I've
shaken up. Lag spike.
Wanted to kill Loki, essentially. It's he just wanted to kill
Loki. It's what caused the meme of Hawkeye being the cuck of the team.
Yeah, it was.
Here's the thing: is like Hawkeye and them, they were just like mind controlled for like what, a week?
Maybe. Yeah. If that.
Like, Scott, Hadley, Corsair, and the rest of the fives, they're already in like 6 months into this.
By the time of Aftermath, it's been at least 3 months.
Yeah.
So
by the time we get to Hyborian,
it'll be longer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Also, I wanted to bring up a one of Block's characters that hasn't been mentioned a lot, but I've seen comments about him. People love your the guy in the courtroom who sounds so fucking bored, like he doesn't want to be there. which was exactly the way I wanted him to sound.
In the courtroom. That's
Like,
everyone
It
in a-
is.
Have
It
you
is.
ever heard those kind of people talk? They are just so sick of what
Oh yeah.
they're
Yeah.
doing.
I mean, I've
Making
been.
their jobs so
I once
fast.
did jury duty, so that's kind of what it is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they do sound so bored because of it and stuff. So
Well, it's funny because it's like, okay, so in this room we have 3 of the most powerful guys in the UEG and the UNSC. We have the leader of the Radical Reformation, a corrupt senator, and we have a literal Spartan 3 legend. And this dude couldn't fucking give a shit about it. It's just another fucking case, you know?
Just another case.
Yeah.
Just like every day.
No, I fucking love that portrayal, dude. It was fucking spot on perfect. Made the whole scene.
yeah.
Why, thank you.
All right, so I'll just
Lag spike.
I got some more questions. Another one for Obi and Block. Cause I have another question for Obi and Block because you
By
guys
the way, we
spent a
got
lot of
about
time doing the
15
cinema
minutes
together.
before I'm gonna call it quits.
Gotcha. So I can.
Oh boy.
I'll do
Got
that,
you.
then I'll do the last question, and then
Yeah. The last question's for the 2, me and Kron, right? That's
Yeah,
what
you'll
you
see.
said. All right.
if you're lucky.
You keep seeing
I know.
winners.
But exactly for Obi and Block again. Fire Team Corsair went from everyone's favorite Spartan team to everyone's not so favorite Spartan team. What was it like? I really wish that we had. I wish we had some more of the characters in here for this. But
I
like,
wish we
what
had
was it like
Cat and Nick
portraying?
here. Yeah, they're missed.
Yeah, but what was it like portraying this family of sorts and having to go from that, Scott being dad, and then all of his children, and then going from that to
Yeah, like
Daddy
you
War
guys,
Criminal.
You guys didn't just betray the UNSC. Y'all motherfuckers betrayed the fan base. You're just lag spike.
So
We have
Kron, you
betrayed
did
you.
as
I
well.
blame Kron.
How does that make you feel, fan base?
I blame Kron as well. All 3 of you betrayed the fan base. What was it
Yeah.
like
Order
sort of betraying that?
66 music starts playing in your head.
Like, how does it feel like? It's like, how does it feel like betraying, like, basically, like Rax 5's Echo, like those guys from Clone Wars? How does it feel being that sort of family, and then going from that to oh no?
Oh no.
Anyways,
Anyways, well,
Akko Taco.
well, I could definitely say I played into it, knowing that's where the character was gonna go.
Yeah.
Because we and Jacob, we talked about it like a couple times, going like before, but believe even before the script was like finalized. like, for the
Hashtag
first
blame
episode.
Kron.
Hashtag blame.
Don't I give myself enough of that in fan mail? Come on, cut me a break.
But knowing that ahead of time, like we definitely, at least I tried to. I'm pretty sure he did as well. Like we all played into it, like because we kind of had to, because that's what we were supposed to do. Some of us more so than others, definitely, but definitely I did kind of enjoy the Order 66 moment, so to speak. I enjoyed the lead up to it, and one of my favorite deliveries, not my favorite, I already mentioned what my favorite was, but one of my favorite deliveries was the I got him, like in my sights.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
And then him yelling at the end, like pissed off, like just let it, just the darker parts taking over. I did enjoy kind of breaking your hearts, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a certain satisfaction in that, which is why I have these sort of twists. If everything was fucking sunshine and daisies all the time, it wouldn't be very fun, would it?
For all the anime fans, it looks like Block's a real life Tsundere.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
I'm a yandere motherfucker.
Is this some kind of weeb reference that I'm not weeb enough to understand?
Yes.
Oh,
Just Google it.
oh,
Just
Jacob,
Google
you
it.
poor innocent
I'm
boy.
surrounded by weebs. Fucking
I'm like the least weeby of
weebs.
Watch Gundam, you'll love it.
Oh,
You
Gundam's
would actually
good.
like Gundam.
Gundam's good.
Yeah,
But Obi, what's your
Or
take sort of on
Code
the
Geass.
question?
God, you would love Code
Code
Geass.
Geass.
I'm never fucking
getting back on
watching your
topic.
animes. Now, if you excuse me, I'm gonna go enjoy Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Anyway,
That
Obi,
is my
you go.
favorite show of all time. I love
Like, reading the script, I was so pumped. But on the voice acting, he's like, "No, I don't want to do this. Don't make me do this, Jacob. I don't want to do this anymore."
Give in,
Oh,
Obi.
like,
Give
I
in
was-
to your dark side.
Well, see, it's one thing for new characters like Hadley, Chen, and Silva to do it, but Scott, who's been by the Spartan side since Generation...
Give in, golden boy.
It broke my heart, man.
Yeah, well, that's the point, isn't it?
Oh, it broke all of
How
our
could you?
I don't think the fan base will forgive you for that one, Kron. Not yet. We'll forget about it next week.
Yes, they won't forgive you. They definitely won't blame us at all. Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, we'll
I am the
blame you
orchestrator of this, so yeah, I guess
a
that's
little
fair.
bit, but we're gonna blame you. Also, we're also gonna blame Meg a little bit as well. You're not out of the woods with this one,
Oh,
buddy.
because of me as Marcus, I guess.
No, because
Nope,
you have a
for you-
writing credit. Because
Because
your
you have a
name's
writing
attached to
credit.
it.
Kill the
Right.
writers.
Yes, let's start to put for shame on you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, here,
For
you
shame.
can have some of this. Get it off of my back.
I will say, Simon did mention for Block. Funny you say anime because I left a comment comparing Block to Todd Habercorn.
Oh my
Uh,
God,
I
you're
don't
like
know
the
who the fuck that
millionth
is.
person. Everyone says I sound like Todd Habercorn.
I don't know who that is either, but
The guy who
also
he's the guy who plays Death the Kid in Soul Reaper.
never seen Soul Reaper.
Yeah.
Don't look when I say
Full Metal.
I'm the least weeby person I can think of. Also, Epsilon 434 says at least they aren't. At first it said it's FIRRIES. Correction. At least they aren't furries.
Oh.
And you know what? You know what?
That's just insulting the furries.
Anyway, we got 10
Yeah.
minutes. Let's do the last
Final-
question.
The
Last
final
question.
question for Kron and Meg. Kron, I'm going to tell you part of this is a question. Part of this question is one I already know the answer to, but this is just for everyone else clarification. What details can you give us about Hyborian? And with the delay of Halo Infinite, will you be shooting it in Halo 5 or will you be waiting for Halo Infinite?
Oh, no, it was never going to be an Infinite. It was always going to be in 5. There was no question.
Yeah.
It's
You showed me
alright.
this. You showed me the Forge stuff. So I
Yeah.
just wanted to ask that for
Yeah.
everybody because
Yeah,
it's going to be a
it's gonna
question you're going to
be-
get asked.
yeah, it's gonna be completely in Halo 5 and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But one, Kron, I'll let you go first if you wanted to reveal something.
Yeah, what can I share about it? Fuck, not much. Okay. So, we will be...
It takes place in the Halo universe.
Yeah, it's on Earth, actually.
It's on Earth.
Yeah.
Earth is in it.
It's on Earth.
Zach will be there.
It's on Earth, mostly.
It's on Earth mostly.
All right, and I think I can pitch in one thing that I can actually reveal because this is not a story related thing, but it's more of a special voice actor that we managed to sneak in. I spoke with Chronicler about this. So I will say that for one particular character that will show up, a new one that will be in it, will be voiced by my own mother. It will be a guest
Which
star.
it actually follows in tradition because in Border War, Sid, the ODST, was voiced by my mother.
Mhm.
So yeah, no, it's good. Hugh's mom is very excited about the role, so I'm excited for that. That's gonna be cool.
We get to see Mother of the Megalodon. This is awesome.
Yeah. What else can
Yeah.
we share? It will be incorporating the characters that Zulu Flight was supposed to have established by now.
I'm working on it.
I know.
Zulu Flight's gonna come out after Hyborian, where you're like, wait.
No. It's coming out
No.
before that. You have little faith. Shut up. I am.
Where is it then, buddy? Where is it?
Okay. I'm gonna hijack this question quickly. Here's an update on Zulu Flight. I am working on it. I've never done one of these before, so personally, I have a lot of anxiety. And when it comes to making this, my anxiety can get really bad while working with this because I don't know what I'm entirely doing. So I'm working through it. I'm trying to do some editing. School hasn't helped, but I'm trying my best to get it out. What I will say is that I do think you guys will like the characters in it, especially because Kron helped me write it. To give you guys a little bit of a tease right now.
It takes place before Aftermath. It takes place right after Brotherhood War ends.
It takes place quite literally. It takes place after Seattle. Some of the things I will say is you'll get to learn Zulu's name, and actually there's a really cool connection with his name because it's actually a family member of mine who defected to Canada during World War II to help to fly in the RCAF against the Nazis. You'll get to meet a person who you would not expect to work with in these times, but times are trying, and he's voiced by this amazing voice actor named Sean, who I found, and I'm so excited for you guys to hear his voice. It's awesome. Meg's in it as a hick.
I am one batshit crazy Alex Jones persona.
You definitely are. And what's sad is that I based your argument off of a real historical argument. Anyways, it's gonna be. I think it'll be fun. I mean, it might not be as polished or crisp as Kron's are.
Everybody's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, sir. I'll do my absolute best, but I am very excited for you guys to see it. I'm super proud of it. I'm grateful to Kron for letting me do it.
And I'm excited about it too because it'll be the first thing canonically in the Spartan Legacy that I have not produced. I did some body acting and I tweaked the script a bit, but that's about it. So I'm excited for it.
Oh God, it's the first. Oh, I didn't even know that. Thanks,
well,
buddy.
Well, see, it was supposed to be Judgment was going to be the first because originally Hugh was going to produce all that, but it didn't work out, so I ended up doing it. You are technically the first.
Oh Lord!
To do all the production and everything, all the editing and shit.
Yeah. So be on the lookout for that. I'll get it out it's gonna come out before Hyborian. If it takes me another year, fucking shoot me.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sad, dude. Not gonna lie.
That would be. That'd be very sad. But it's coming. I'm excited for you guys to see it. Add some really cool little touches. I also think in this machinima, I'm not sure, but I think in this series, it might be. I think it's the first Spartan's Legacy machinima that has a piece of music not from the Halo game.
This is true. I allowed that. I'm a big stickler about making sure that all the music in the Spartan Legacy is all from Halo. However, this is one piece that I am not producing, so I am allowing its producer to have a slightly more personal touch to it.
The song, it's called For Katrine. It's from the soundtrack to oh my God, Valiant Hearts: The Great War. And when you hear it,
it's gonna be sad.
Not really. You'll have to wait and see. But I'm super excited about it. So sorry I hijacked the question. It's just I had to just talk about that.
What else can
Let me talk about my
lag spike.
Oh,
What else can we say about Hyborian? It's gonna take place. See, we're in 25. Okay, it's going to take place in, I think, I have it set in May of 2591. So we're coming up on a full year since Brotherhood War started in the timeline. I can say that. I can say that Phoenix team, the 4-person Phoenix team versus the 4-person Fire team Corsair will be a major point in Hyborian, and I will do it better than Halo 5 did.
Which is not hard to do.
Not fucking hard.
And I guess another thing we could kind of say is that compared to Aftermath, there's definitely going to be a lot more action.
Oh yeah. Oh, easily.
That's for
fucking
sure.
Easily. Yeah, I got some big scenes, big action scenes that I'm excited for. I think I'm finally going to get to do my Warthog chase. Yeah.
Hey.
Run. I remember the speech dialogue scene that we filmed for Aftermath. How long did we sit there for? An hour or two or something?
2 hours.
Looking back and forth.
I think. Yeah, something like that. An hour or two. Yeah.
I appreciate the dialogue scenes now and after the release. At that time, I could tell you my butt was not appreciating it.
Yeah, but look at how it turned out, man.
Yeah, turns out, like I said, I'm happy it turned out the way it did. In the moment, my butt was falling asleep and it hated you. So
All right.
I think that's all the questions that
all you
I
got.
mean, there's definitely more, but there's some other ones on there, but sadly the people who could answer have left.
Yeah.
But I do have a closing remark, if that is all right.
Oh yeah,
before we
go
end it.
ahead.
All right, go
Let's
ahead.
finish off there.
So, before we go today, I just wanted to say, I know 2020 has been a rough year for everybody between COVID, personal stuff. Like I was telling Kron when I was telling you about the fact that I was going to miss the deadline for Zulu. Like I told you, I was seeing like a therapist finally after years. It's nothing bad or anything like that. It's just working through anxiety and things.
Natural shit, yeah.
Yeah. So I know this year's been rough for a lot of people. And I'm so wildly happy and thankful that we can all sit here. Whether you've gone or not, I'm so happy we can sit here and just talk about the Spartan legacy, talk about something that we love. Like, I miss all of you so much. Like, I miss the body acting. I miss just the random calls. I miss you guys more than I think a lot of people understand. And it's just, I don't know. It's great for all of us to be here, and in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'm thankful that we can all be here and just talk about Spartan legacy, joke around, laugh for about 2+ hours. Just
I'm just
get to
fucking
dick
happy we
around
got
and have
to pull this
fun.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that too.
Flag spike.
Who showed up and watched the stream? So everybody showed up and is watching the stream. Thanks for showing up. Like, thanks for your questions. Thank you for doing all this. It adds so much to these discussions. Thanks for coming with us on this 2-hour little journey.
Alyssa, is that you? No, I thought somebody was at the door. Sorry, go ahead. I want to see if I can drag her into this before we quit, but she's not home yet.
No, you're good. Thank you,
ahead.
everybody who showed up today. For those who show up in the future, can't wait to see you there.
And I will throw this one thing into the remark as well and stuff. I would also like to say thank you guys just for the full support that you've given to Brotherhood War and Aftermath. We're appreciative.
Without you guys.
Yeah, we wouldn't be here without you guys, and we're really hopeful that because we know that there's not really that much to see out there in terms of COVID and all that. So we hope that our series has kind of lightened you guys up and all that, and that you guys have been really looking forward to it, and hopefully look forward to the next chapter.
Yeah. And I would like to say, yeah, it's been a hard year. 2020 has been, but it has not been a hard year for this channel. 2 major machinimas out. We managed to complete them. I can't fucking believe we did them both this year, guys.
Both. Yeah.
And we hit 13,000 subs. We hit 10,000 views on Brotherhood War Part 1. What the fuck? Holy whoa! Yeah, we hit 74 active viewers, which is a new record in one of the streams in Aftermath Part 2's reveal. It's fucking incredible, guys. I haven't had growth like this in years. It's been so great. It makes it easier to do. I'll say that.
God knows you deserve it, my man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really do. So,
thank you.
Guys, having like a simple comment or saying how just commenting on our performances at all, complimenting us, it makes our day. Thank you.
It does.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are awesome. Thank you.
All right, so I think we'll wrap up there. And
yeah,
thanks to everybody who came. Block, thanks for sneaking in at the last minute. I'm so happy you made it.
Busy Block.
Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap it up here, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody, thanks for coming to the chat, and we'll see you around. Keep your eyes on the Discord, because I'm going to be talking about the production of Hyborian as it goes. I'm going to try not to leave you guys hanging as much. So just keep an eye out for that. Hit me with your fan mail. I should have another fan mail coming out in a month or so, and we'll see you guys around.
Yeah. I love you all, and I hope we can get back to our machinima shenanigans very soon.
Yeah.
Very soon, hopefully.
Bye. Have a beautiful night.
Bye.
Bye.
And we are off the air.